2021 Shannons Insurance NTE Series is back, all thanks to our series sponsors. Shannons Insurance, Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning, Tim Nickel Photography, NP Style Signage and Graphics, Auto Inspections and Road Services NT, Roadrunner, and of course, Matty Cav Media.
Three, two, one, drop it. Are you ready for this?
Well, welcome back, race fans, to what is the final round of the Shannons Insurance NTE Series for 2021. I'm Matt Kavanagh, and back joining me again is Tegan Peck. Mate, it is lovely to hear your voice once again.
It's fantastic to be back, Matty, and who would have thought? Final round already. It's just gone by so quickly. We had nearly a month off since round 4, which was the 9th of May at Circuit du Spa, and we had some minor issues with that one that meant the viewers didn't get to hear our beautiful voices. So what have we gone and done? We forced them into 2 hours of racing this time around.
Yeah, we're going to make sure it goes to 2 hours, the big race tonight. So practice is a little bit delayed. That's why you see 11 minutes still up there. And we were going to try and cut us a little bit short, but I believe we are going to leave them out there for just a little bit longer. But a bit of a delay with iRacing means that our qualifying has been delayed about 11 minutes there. But we are still going to have half an hour qualifying. 2-hour race, and of course we are at Daytona International Speedway. What are we saying? 5.7 kilometres, Teagues, 12 turns to get around. Looking at this, if we can get into a 1:43, you're doing really good around here. So 1 minute 43 something is a good time. At the moment we're only seeing low 1:44s, but we know during the week the guys are logged on. I was on Wednesday night when they were on, and a 1:43 is a superb time around here. Somewhere between about 4.5 to 4.7 litres per lap, which means without a safety car intervention, if we just had straight racing, nothing stopped us, we get 83 point something laps. So we could get 84 laps in a 2-hour race. So we do have 2 safety cars, I do believe, are going to come out at some point throughout the race. The drivers have been told we will have at least 2 safety cars. Starting is, we're only allowed to start with 55 litres in the tank. Of course, they can take 110, which means if we fill them all the way each time, we suspect there'll be about 3 fuel stops here. Depending on what the strategy is, you might get 4 with those safety cars. So could be an interesting night, Teagues, and plenty to talk about in the championship as well.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really going to be interesting to see. And we've got some new contenders who are coming out to race with us for the night. Yeah, there's been some changes within the people who are racing, so it's opened up some spots, and you know, there was such a huge want to race this NTE series thanks to Shannons Insurance, and yeah, look, it's great to see that we have so much interest and that we've been able to fill up all the spots, and we have so many competitors. There are a lot of guys who have raced every single round, some who have missed 1 or 2, or you know, some who I think there's potentially 1 or 2 that it's their first time racing here tonight. As we see a pretty decent crash there. I'm not sure who that was.
Jack Wittes just T-boning what's like the Airs NT car. So that's not good for the boys. But of course it is practice, so they're going to reset that one and go back to the pits. Luckily enough for them. Tim Nickel Photography, of course, great supporters of the series as well. You can see him up on screen at the moment. PBE Project supported Timmy Nickel on the 23 car again throughout the iRacing series here for the NTE series. A big shout out to Shannons Insurance, who have been absolutely fantastic to come on board once again. And a couple of things with them is they've actually got the Shannons Show and Shine, of course, the 2021. Now, they had this last year as well. You know, nearly $35,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. So over $34,000 in cash prizes up for grabs, all thanks to Shannons Insurance. Of course, 134646 if you want to get your pride and joy insured. Also, they do house insurance and everything else, but bikes, cars, as you can see. So there's Shannons Show and Shine. Go to the website for all the details, all the www.shannonsinsurance.com.au, of course. Can't wait to see that come up. Like you say, So you can enter that now, and I do believe that might be a virtual one again this year, so you can send everything in. So go to the Shannons Insurance website and check that out, and we can't thank Shannons Insurance for being on board with the series once again, and thank you everyone who's sharing out our Facebook post around the world, and of course we do have it on YouTube and Twitch as well on Madicab Media. And Paul Mansell's already on our chat. We do have that up. Of course, Tommy Orton, g'day lads. Hope your fridge is full. We hope it is too, but we are taking donations at Great Northern. Becky,
absolutely.
You sexy. That's Paul Mansell. Hey, the champ. The champ is
the champ. How good is he?
I've got rid of that sound effect, haven't I? And I should have put it back in the system.
Should have left it in there.
It's for the champ.
The cruiser drinking man himself. He was really the one to watch in the 2020 NTE series, and far out. He's really had a lot of challenges in this series, so it's been interesting to watch, and he's really had to build out his racecraft and make sure that he's got everything down to a T, because some real fierce competitors in this series have really made it hard for him. But I think Matty, the entire series has been pretty interesting, and really the tracks that were chosen have given us such a good variety. With Bathurst, Phillip Island, Oran Park, and Circuit de Spa. Like Oran Park in itself was just interesting. Like it's such a small, tight track, and Jack Witters just had one of the worst runs of the series there, and he didn't go anywhere basically, and it really changed the standings up and threw a whole curveball in there. So I think it's been pretty cool to watch the different tracks and all the different stuff you have to do to be able to be competitive.
All right, now we got a little bit of time here with this late start, so let's actually go through this one. So let's have a look at last round's results. So last time out in round number 4, of course, Jack Witters got the win again. Just came back into form, took that win, dominated once again in qualifying. I mean, what do you do against this guy? He is just superb when it comes to this iRacing.
Yeah, absolutely. He's fantastic to watch and really has the racecraft down. These two guys who are in second and third, I believe that was their first round with us, with Mitchell Bolton being there in second spot and Blake Warboys being in third. But yeah, I believe it was both of their first one, and they jumped themselves straight up onto the podium. Yeah, I mean, that was Circuit de Spa where they fought this one out for round number 4. Like you say, those two new names that we didn't see at the start of the series. So we actually had a few people that said, look, I can't make the rest of the series. With only 44 spots up for grabs, we then invited people on the wait list. Now, Mitchell Bolton and Blake Warboys would have been fantastic to see him here, taking it to Jack Witters a bit earlier in the season. So that's how it all ended. That's your top 3 in the last one. So this is what came out of this one when it comes to our awards, though. Of course, the Tough Luck Award went to Dylan Saints there. Just wasn't his night, thanks to Roadrunner, of course, putting some of the $20 cash up for grabs. But, Auto Inspections and Road Services NT, the Hard Charger Award, Michael Halkitis, the Klimnos Killer, puts himself forward there, $25 in iRacing credit. So he pushed on throughout that race, and unfortunately, he didn't get up there on the podium. But Michael Halkitis, I'm just actually having a look at where he ended up, because I did read this out. 10th place is where he started out of position number 23. So, for him to do that, that is massive for him to make it all the way through there in the Yingwati Ford Mustang. So that was your Hard Charger and your Tough Luck Award there. But it's good to see for Michael Halkitis too, because in the 2020 series, I think he was one of the only competitors who didn't get outside the top 10 the entire series. So every round he was within the top 10. So we'll sort of expect to see some, some good racing from him, and he just hasn't been there this series. So good to see him able to claw his way back. Obviously didn't get the qualifying that he was after, but it has obviously clawed his way back in the race and ended up in the top 10. So yeah, good to see for the Yingwati Ford Mustang.
Takes us into the championship standings, though, after round number 4, and of course Jack Witters leading us there, 534 points. Guy Leach, who's had a win here. He had it in round number 3 at Oran Park. He's ended up in second position there, not too far behind on 519 points. Paul Mansell in third on 447, the previous champ, the 2020 champ. JB, our fearless leader, in fourth on 414, so just outside that top 3. Kevin Norman, Dylan Sates in sixth, Nathan Norman, Ryan Robson, who I have not seen come up on our screen tonight. We do want to know where Deborah is. Daniel Norris there in ninth, and Michael Halkitis, who you just spoke about, still in 10th position in the championship. So will he get that top 10 finish? It could happen. We'll have to wait and see. But we talk about championship though, Teagues. Now, I've done some maths. And I know you've got pretty dodgy math skills, but this is how it goes.
Yeah.
This is how it goes. If Jack Widders finishes second tonight, no one can beat him. Absolutely nobody. So if Jack Widders can get a second place tonight, it does not matter how the cards fall, he will take it home. Guy Leach, he needs Jack to get third and he needs to take a win. That's how Guy Leach is going to get in there. So if he gets, so Guy Leach needs to take a win, Jack goes back to third, he's got a chance. Paul Mansell is also a chance here, a long shot. He needs to win. Jack Widders needs to get 15th. And I don't even know what Guy Leach needs to do, but he can't beat Paul Mansell, all right? He's probably got to get third. I'm looking at the numbers here, maybe third or fourth. Actually, no, it'd be a bit more than that, actually. Guy Leach would have to be back there, I reckon, about 14th or 13th place. So, Guy Leach and Jack Widders need to be 15th or below, basically. Paul Mansell gets a win. He can still grab his second championship in a row. He can still make this back-to-back. But this is the most impressive part, which we did not expect at the start of this series. Jake Burgess. Mathematically, and I mean mathematically, he is a chance. The top three, so Jack Widders, Guy Leach, Paul Mansell, need to finish 26th or below. And Jake Burgess needs to pull a win off. It's a long shot, but it can happen. It can happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we've seen crazy things happen, and wouldn't it be great to see Jakey Burgess get up there? He's done so much to pull us together from putting together the entire series, pulling together the sponsors and all the competitors, and really dealing with the stuff throughout the week with people who want to sort of vent over a racing incident or just want something clarified of how it worked. He's sort of been doing the whole lot. So he's done a fantastic job, and the new initiatives this year around throwing out a instead of letting the iRacing safety car be a thing, we've now got two people who do the safety car, so we do a virtual safety car, which basically it speeds up the whole race, so we get more actual physical racing laps in there, and also having the race control there who can just really check out and make sure that the racing is done to the highest standard. And of course, probably his greatest achievement is bringing you and I back, I would say.
Yeah. Look, it was just lucky that we weren't busy. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
We've got to start putting some big zeros behind our numbers, I think, when he starts ringing us.
Oh, there's big zeros there already.
Yeah.
There's, it's because there's nothing.
yeah. We've just multiplied our earnings from last time by 100. It's good. Dylan Motorsports, there is no leaderboard up at the moment because we are still in a practice session. So, although I could put them up for you, it's not really going to matter at the moment on the practice session. You do want to know Sam Dicker is out there in front, 144.13 or 144.33 for Jack Widders, but we know he always seems to leave something in the tank, doesn't he, for qualifying. So as you can see up there, only 6 seconds left, and we will change over to our Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning qualifying session coming up very shortly. So not too far away, and we will get that leaderboard up for you. Of course, make sure you do comment out there on the social media. It doesn't matter which platform you are on. We will see your comments come up here, and we can have a bit of banter with you, which is always fun, which is, I suppose, one of the best parts, I think, about the NTE series for me, Teagues, is I always enjoy the banter with the crowd out there as they get out there and they send us in lots of comments. They like to stir us up a bit, especially about having a good beer. I know that most of the boys like to get into us. Tommy Orton, of course. I don't know where he is tonight. I can't even see his name up there. That's what I can't.
No, I don't think he's racing, and I'm assuming that's because his fridge is full.
Or it's half empty.
Or it's half 50, yeah, that's exactly right.
It started full today, but did he get the generator out for this? Remember last time, I think he lost power. He lost power, he lost his steam, his beers went hot. I mean, he works for a company where surely he can get a generator there, as it looks like now we are going to be into our qualifying session now. So I won't put the leaderboard up yet. Oh no, Dave Worrell, sorry guys, don't think I'm going to make it tonight. That's a bit of a shame not to see Dave there as well, because just having a look at where Dave is actually sitting in our championship at the moment. As I look down all my notes, in 29th, so just outside, just inside the top 30, I should say. Is Timmy Nickel, mate. You're going to have a hard reset there, I reckon. So Jack Widders, let's look at him at the moment. So just leading us out here at the moment. Qualifying has just started. Like, we are only a minute in. You're going to be about a minute 44 to get around here, give or take. This is an outlap. So we're going to say probably a minute 50 to 2 minutes, somewhere there, just to get a lap going, and then they'll be doing 144 on the nice tyres there as Jack Widders looks like he's putting some open air at the moment. So once we do start to see some indicative times come up on our timing screens, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get the leaderboard up. At this point, probably not too much of a point there, of course. But yeah, tonight is the final round here at Daytona International Speedway. Can't wait to see what happens. What I really like about this one though, Tegan, it's got a little bit of a bus stop. You come out on that bank curve, and you can see this is where Jack is now. So you come out on that huge banking there, and when you're out there, it's a transition as you go out into the banking where it really unsettles the car. I find once you're on the banking, it's fine to drive, but that little bit of a transition, you really need to be careful there that you just don't get out of shape. And then they go and throw this in down the back stretch, a little bus stop section. Just come in, pick the kids up. It's a little kids bus stop there. Oh, you see Jack Widders just there, get a little bit loose there. So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I reckon it's the entry there before he comes around to that bus stop where you actually enter up on the side banking where it really is difficult.
Yeah, and I jumped into Kevin Norman's cockpit while he was doing a couple of laps just before, and you're on the borderline of just being really, really loose on the entry there, and it's obviously the way that you've got to do it to hold enough speed and not lose anything. So I think main race time, especially on those opening laps, it's going to be really interesting because they're going to be on cold tyres, so they've got to be careful with what they're doing. But yeah, you basically got to be on the borderline of very, very loose to be able to get through that section and hold enough speed and keep going. So the track's fantastic. Absolutely iconic track to finish off at. I've never actually seen it run like this and never jumped on to have a look at how it runs with the circuit, and it's absolutely fantastic. And like you said, the banking is just amazing, and they carry so much speed while they're running around it, and then just throwing in the corners. It just is a whole new challenge.
Yeah, Michael Freeman has actually put a lap together. I thought he might have been on a bit of a fast one there, but some issues there. Simon Farrington's a name who's only just joined us, really, last round. Another one of the ones, a late inclusion in the series after we had some people drop out. So he's got in here. So Simon Farrington, currently in the second position in qualifying. That's an outlap though. So I'll just let you know that is an outlap while that position comes up. It looks like he's just coming around to the bus stop now. So 12 turns here, and we'll try and grab someone at the start of one of their laps, I reckon, if we can find them. And we're going to have a little bit of a look around, see if we can find someone who might just be starting out of a lap. Sam Dicker now, watch for him. Last round probably wasn't where we've seen him in other series when it comes to iRacing. He was super dominant in the flat-out kart series. He's come in here, missed the first 3 rounds, made it there to the last one. He's down in 39th position in the championship. So already super impressive in practice. We saw some of his time. So let's see what happens here. All right, now we are starting to see some people come through. Let's get up the Pecky's performance qualifying grid at the moment. And Blake Warboys is right up there after that podium last week. Well, 4 weeks ago, a 1:44.03. And what do we say? A 1:43 is a great number. So he is so close to that already, Tegan.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. That's probably his second lap in the qualifying session, and he's trying together a lap that's the top of the charts and really respected with the overall numbers. So it'd be interesting to see how the rest of the session goes and who can have a go at knocking off the top spot, and how many times we'll see that leaderboard change around. Good to see some of the other names in there. Jakey Burgess in 7th position currently. Timmy Nicol doing all right for himself in 6th currently. Then Dan Kerr, he's been a name that has been pretty quick throughout this entire series as well, Matty.
Yes, as we see in the background there, just spinning off. But no, Dan Kerr's another one who's done a fantastic job. Probably, I would have to put him up in the improvements. Last round was not his round though, right down the back, and a bit of a tough luck for him last round, obviously. But, to start the series off, sort of running mid-pack, and he was the one that had that really great start at Oran Park, didn't he? He managed to get up there in qualifying. I'll just go and check my notes, because I reckon in round number 3 at Oran Park, he was the one that surprised us all, because he was 3rd fastest qualifier is what it was, Dan Kerr. And unfortunately, he just couldn't hold on to it. They managed to go past him throughout the race, and he ended up a bit further back, got involved in some incidents throughout that one at Oran Park in round number 3. But, he strung a lap together when no one else did. He just did it. And, Dan Kerr, a big improver in this series.
Yeah, it was great to see, too. It was, really late in the race that he came out there and just punched out a 3rd quickest time. And, yeah, just one of the names that we weren't really talking about very much. So, yeah, interested to see what he can do here at Daytona for the final round and where he can sit himself at the end of the entire series in the point score. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Probably another thing we haven't really talked about here, Matty, which I think I've got iRacing running over on my left-hand screen here, and I've just watched Rossi Johnson just stove in the back of a car as he's gone to go through that bus stop section. So, and that's what I was just about to talk about, is that with these guys, obviously the difference in this series compared to last year is that we are we're running with damage on, so it's keeping the races a bit more honest. So that basically, if they crash into something, tap a wall, tap each other, whatever it is, they're going to actually do damage to the cars. And so I guess that just makes the guys run a lot smoother and not as out of control as potentially what you can if there isn't damage on. Now with that, for this final round, the guys have 4 what they call fast repairs. So we've limited per car for 4 fast repairs, which basically means that if there's damage to the car, they can pull into the pits, they can hit a button and it quickly repairs all the damages. So they're not sitting in there. But basically what that means with some of these repairs that the guys have to do, they can sit in there depending on the extent of the damage. They can sit in the pits for upwards of an hour and things like that. So when you're talking about a 2-hour-long race, without these fast repairs, some of the guys would, on a first lap incident, potentially be out of the race altogether.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Every time I get on someone who's doing a flying lap, they seem to say, hey, I'm just going to pull into the pits. So that's unfortunate. Oh, who's that spinning out on the exit? I don't want to know who that is. Oh, that's not good. All right, so what we might do is we might just jump on board in the cockpit now, because someone who's been super impressive is, of course, Guy Leach. Now, at the moment, he is sitting 4th in qualifying there with the 144. He's just gone back one, so who's that? It's gone through. Sam Dicko's put a time, not surprisingly. Sam Dicko's a 144.52. So Guy Leach in 5th position in qualifying at the moment with 144.93. But so we take it around here. I'm just going to run us through a little bit of a lap here, obviously, as we go around. You see him just that right-hander now. Now, this is where turn number 3, I do believe that is turn number 3 as they head down here. Got a little bit of a kink now. You got to sort of be careful here now. You got a little bit of a left-hander. No, he's going up in the banking. Actually, I've grabbed this completely wrong. That is turn number 6 now. It's this transition there you need to be careful as you get on the accelerator. Now, once you're up on this banking, though, you can pretty much hold it. I do love the donkey actually on his helmet. I'm glad we do have trading paints turned on. These guys have gone out. Can you notice that one? Oh, the big donkey face on his helmet. I love that in the
That's
revision
fantastic.
mirror. We've turned the graphics up. It's good to see. Top gear now, as you can see, as he heads around the back section now. He's going to go up to this bus stop, and this is the tricky part now. Got to grab a little bit of curb. Now, we see this at other tracks as well. They put the little bus stop in there. If you grab too much curb now, the inside there, so easy to put a wheel onto the grass. It's going to win. Now, back up on the banking, you find, coming around to the final corner and come to the start-finish line there. We might just watch him go around from a different angle, though, very shortly there, because very interesting to watch Guy Leach now. We'll get on a flying lap, and let's hope that maybe, just maybe this time, this is someone we can stick up this and see where we are going to be on the sector. So this is an out lap. Let's start a fresh lap here for Guy Leach. Now, remembering and qualifying with iRacing, if you go to the outer extremities of the track, if you use too much grass, go too far outside the limits of the track, have an incident, brush a wall, tyre barrier, whatever it is, that is going to cause you a points penalty. So 1-2 there as he goes through. Who's that? The 662 car. Oh, that's Justin McLean. He has hit the wall hard there. Now we go to the right-hander. Turn number 3. Full 180-degree, elbow really as he goes around there. Little kink to the left now is turn number 4 as we head down to turn number 5. Here's a little kink. Hold on to it though. You've got to get hard on the brakes. Change sides of the track. Now hard on the brakes. 5. Another full hairpin turn here. Then you got yourself another little straight before you head down to turn 6 and that long sweeper to go out. Now, I don't know where your overtaking opportunities are going to be. I have seen some people in other races just have a little bit of a go down here. It looks like Guy Leach is going to get this. So it must just be the camera curse, Teagues. Once I put camera on, they don't want to do a flying lap.
They decide to pull out once you've put the camera on them. They go all shy.
They go all shy. It's always the way. Once you get the camera on, you go a bit shy. But I'm just trying to catch up with whoever is the biz commentary, of course. Dan Kerr from Alice Springs. Good to see him joining us in the Central Australia too as part of this. And I'm not sure if we got Tim Gracie on from New Zealand tonight. I'm just trying to have a look. Oh, there he is, the New Zealander. The Kiwi Bro is on. Timmy Grace, all the way from New Zealand, has joined us for this series once again. Now we tried to get Grace. Oh, head first. We got him at the right time, didn't we?
That's probably going to cause him to have a non-event time.
Oh,
for
look,
that
mate, I'm just saying, look, all the Kiwi talent has been eaten up by Scotty McLaughlin and obviously plenty of others. Shane Van Gisbergen, sorry, Timmy. We did try to get Gracie bet going because he did have a few bets on with us actually over the live stream when he hasn't done too well in the races. So we do like to get a bit of a Gracie bet going. We'll see what the odds are a bit later if he gets on. So Evan Cooklinus, good to see you, mate. Get him, boys. Yeah, well, we haven't seen Evan K this season, unfortunately. He was hoping to join us, but Unfortunately, we did not see him. Jack Gray on track at the moment, the pool guys. And he's getting around in the number 7, of course. Just trying to have a look at where he actually is in our championship for Jack Gray. Been a few people join us. Been with us throughout the season, Jack Gray, though. Fantastic to have him on board. 37th in the championship at the moment. Missed a couple of races, so hasn't been able to make every race, and that's the hard part sometimes is. 5 rounds. We put them together pretty quickly, too. We had a bit of a break before this one. 18 minutes left in the Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning qualifying tonight, and then we do a 2-hour race. 2 hours, T. Can we talk for 2 hours straight?
Oh, Matty, we've done it for 6 hours before, so I'm sure we could do it for 2 hours. Every time you and I get on a phone call, we seem to be on the phone for near on 2 hours. So, you know what? If anyone can talk, I think it's you and me. All right,
Yeah.
we might not end up talking about anything to do with the race, but look, you know, that's minor details. And have a look at the man up on the screen now, Jamarcus Peck. He's in position 12 currently in the qualifying session, sponsored by himself from Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tune. And yeah, he's done well for himself. I think he's sitting 14th overall in the championship. And yeah, having a chat with him, he's absolutely stoked with himself. He's
of course
really
he is.
put a lot of time and effort into this iRacing thing, and I think much to Mum's enjoyment is that he locks himself on a computer for hours on end, and she doesn't have to deal with him too much.
Has he got new socks for this week?
No, you'd hope so. Hopefully he's gone back to Flip Out and got himself another set of socks.
Yeah, he needs those grippy socks so he keep his feet warm with that air conditioning he's got. I mean, that gym, you know, that gets so much use now that he's got himself a sim rig, doesn't it? I mean, how much rust do you think's appeared on all that gym gear?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty, I think. I think he started giving away some of the gear, to be honest.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't have put this much pressure on him, but, you know, he's not as massive as he used to be, so now I can hang a bit on him, you know.
He's a computer guy now.
He's just a nerd like the rest of us. It's all good. Oh, he's such a good character, old Jamarcus, and it's great to hear him on Discord a few nights a week. But I just log in and listen to them guys banter on. I don't even watch the racing, so that's pretty good actually. I don't mind.
Considering about this time last year, he couldn't even turn a computer on. It's pretty impressive to see how much he's really researched this and you know, gone leaps and bounds. And yeah, I don't know what he keeps telling Mum every time he buys a new bloody steering wheel or set of pedals or something like that. But he's doing well to not get in trouble with her, I think.
Yeah, he's doing really well, I can tell you. Clay Richards was fantastic. We could get him to join us, of course, from the Richards families. We get a bit of netcode there, but you know, like you know, when you come from a family of racers, it's fantastic that he could see the effort to put it in and make the time to come and join us in the Shannons Insurance NTE series for 2021, and that's what we do love to see the young and up-and-coming drivers, I suppose. When you got your dad around you like that, Jim Richards and that. So Stephen Richards, sorry, his dad, and Jim Richards, his granddad. Like, I mean, you know, anything could happen, and he's definitely got a lot of talent at the moment, though. Not his night, he hasn't had the best series, but he's been super consistent in there, in coming in every week and just getting the points each week in the series. Currently sitting in 21st, just outside the top 20, so he might be able to change that tonight. He's pretty close to Timmy Nickel, who's in 20th, so we'll see what Clay Richards can pull out of the bag tonight here at Daytona. Peter B, late joiner as well. This man, don't try and say his last name, Peter Biancucci, I believe it is, but we just call him Peter B, the Italian stallion.
So we got Evan K and Peter B. That's just names that we refuse to try and announce.
We're not paid enough to announce those ones. Sorry, that's just how it is. So, you know.
So just over 14 minutes left to go of this Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning qualifying session. Warboy's still sitting at the top of the tree with a 1:44.034. So that time that he put together on the opening couple of laps there in the qualifying session, not able to be knocked over as of yet. Craig Anspach sitting there in second. As I say, that Sam Dicker goes up to second position. So 0.045 of a second of seconds behind that top spot. So not too far away is Sam Dicker. Anspach gone back to third. Jack Witter's sitting in fourth position. See if he can throw together a qualifying time in these last sort of 13 and a bit minutes of the qualifying session. Guy Leach sitting in fifth position, Timmy Nickel in sixth, Kevin Norman in seventh, Paulie Mansell in eighth, and then ninth is our fearless leader, Jakey Burgess, and then McLean sitting there in 10th. So that is your top 10 for the qualifying right now with 13 minutes and 30 seconds left to go before we get into the main race.
Oh, Timmy 2 slides it around there, the gas man entry, Timothy Driscoll. We had to get, we've got a few Timmys in here this season, don't we, too? We've got Tim Nicol, Timmy Driscoll, Tim Gracie. They're all in here, but it's currently sitting 25th in qualifying at the moment. But similar where Driscoll's ended up in our championship back in 49th and only started in round number 4. So a late entry, another one who has come into the series a little bit later. So definitely not a serious contender, but good that Timothy could join us and just add another Tim into the mix. Now the man, last year's champion, the 2021 championship, they've gone and reversed their livery for the injectors online. Paulie Mansell, number 5. He's back there in P8 at the moment and will be searching for some pace. He is only 11 thousandths off of Kevin Norman when it comes to qualifying. As you see a little bit of a gap there between them all. Sam Dicker and Blake Warboys, they're in a nice little battle up there for number 1 though. Look at that. 45 thousandths of a second is the difference. And Craig Anspach is another one. Still out on track in the Tank SRT Holden Commodore. Now, Anspach hasn't been here for every round, but he started off really well. So we haven't actually seen him since round number 1. And in round number 1, from memory, I'm going to go back on memory, and I'm going to check this out. He was, okay, I'll confirm it. He was on the front row of the grid in 2nd position. So he actually started on the 2nd row position, finished 4th, Craig Anspach. So what a shame that we have not seen him stay in this series and be able to compete so much, because he could be another real contender. And this is what's happened. We come to the final round, Tegan. We throw all these guys in who have had impressive performances but haven't been here the whole series, so we don't see them up the top of the championship standings, but they could be a cat amongst the pigeons when it comes to how everyone finishes tonight.
Oh yeah, you're dead right. And on a track that's 5.72 kilometres and such a big flowing track, there's plenty that can go on, and the guys are going to have to really be calculated how they get the first opening laps out there once they actually get on there. So qualifying can really mean nothing in a very quick time if you don't make those opening couple of laps count, or you push it that bit too hard, and you end up out of the race early on. It just changes everything. So. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. As you said, we've got a lot of big players in there now for this final round. 2-hour enduro, so fatigue levels are going to come into it. I think it's going to be very interesting to watch, Matty.
Look, our fearless leader, JB, who is an outside chance of clinching the 2021 championship. A very, very outside chance, as we spoke about earlier. The top 3 pretty much. Look, if the top 3, Jack Witters, Guy Leach or Paul Mansell, finish somewhere down from 26th down, and JB manages to get the number 1 on the podium, there's a chance of him clinching this championship. He can win it. He's still got an opportunity. He tells me he does not have an opportunity, but I told him, mate, you've got to go for gold. Anything could happen in this one. Shane Ewan slides off the Territory Falls Ice Coffee in the background. And hasn't he done well, Shane Ewans, to get back into this one? I know he's been fighting it out with Jamarcus, hasn't he? And they got a little bit of banter going on. He's 17th in the championship to keep showing up. And for the Territory guys, you've got to campaign someone who has the Ice Coffee logo on the side.
Absolutely. He's fan favourite from the Territory just because of that alone, as he gets very loose there in the corner. I think we're going to see a bit of this, but yeah, it's been great to watch Shane Ewans and to see him consistent enough to get himself 17th on the podium, on the point score, I should say, and he's doing fairly well for himself, and yeah, I know he just loves getting on here and doing the rounds. So yeah, it's great to see him turn up for every round and the banter that does go on between the guys.
Yeah, a little bit of banter there as we bring it up. Dylan Sates, he's changed over to the NTE Series livery, and we did see a little bit of an ad come out on the NTE Series Facebook page in regards to that. So he changed the livery in the back half of the season, and look, he's sitting 6th in the championship. Tough luck last week, he went back so many positions, unfortunately, and didn't really accumulate the points we're used to seeing, considering, he's been right up there sort of in the top 10 most races. He still has an outside opportunity to get 3rd in this championship. Statistically, the top 5 need to get 0 though, which I don't think can happen. I don't think they can get 0 at all, but if the top 5 somehow got 0 points, got disqualified, something like that, Dylan Sates can still get on the podium in the championship. So, not expecting it, But mathematically, it's a possibility.
Once again, we're relying on your math skills, though. So
look,
Jackie helped out with that.
It's in a spreadsheet with some automatic calculations put in. All right, so
Fantastic.
I'm trying to make this.
So surely it couldn't have been messed up too bad.
Just a little bit. Now I'm going to do this current lap. Every time I do this, someone pulls in. And it's not going to give us a time because he has obviously gone too far out of bounds on that lap at some point, which is why we see those times come up. So probably not much point in leaving that one up there for us. But Michael Halkitis, and like you say, sitting in 10th in the championship, always operating in the top 10 or just thereabouts. Of course, the number 26. He was pretty impressive last year, but just super consistent is what I like about Michael Halkitis. As he gets around the HB Group Yingwati Mustang once again, and we'll just see where he goes. P16 at the moment when it comes to qualifying. His last lap was a 146.462 as he just completed. Yep, it's updated, so he will stay in 16th position, but a 146, so he's still a couple of seconds off those guys. We haven't seen the 143 yet. Blake Warboy's a 144.034. Sam Dicker now a 144.079, a 144.237 back to Craig Anspach. And Jack Wittes, uncharacteristically, is back in 4th position now. Although Jack Wittes didn't have the run at Oran Park, as we spoke about, it wasn't his night, ended up further back, he still qualified well there. He's still the man to beat, really. You'd expect him in qualifying, and I'm just going to do this. In round number 1, he out-qualified everyone by nearly 8/10 of a second, or 79 hundredths of a second. In round 2 at Phillip Island, he out-qualified everyone by 0.5 a second. Oran Park, he out-qualified everyone by 0.5 a second. Circuit to Spa, he out-qualified everyone by 0.5 a second. So tonight, he is not at number 1. That's
very odd to see, unless he's maybe, just holding it back there, giving everyone a little bit of hope, and he's going to punch something out here in the last 5 minutes.
Might be looking for some clean air. 6 minutes 40 left in this qualifying session, all thanks to Becky's performance and dyno tuning. But Jack Wittes, we're waiting to see what happens with him because, like we say, it's been an impressive series from him. If he ends up in 2nd position tonight in this race, it does not matter how the cards fall. He will clinch this championship for 2021. And he is super fast. Watch to see what happens because I'm expecting him probably to be up in the top 5 once again. At the moment, sitting in P4 and just off the pace, but he might be trying some things out, or maybe he's just challenging himself and he's got one arm tied behind his back. Maybe that's what it is.
That's you and I wouldn't need any of those sorts of challenges. We could use extra
Mate, I'm challenged enough just to get a car around the circuit.
But yeah, no, Jack Wittes, it's like you said, it's strange to sort of see him back there, but maybe he is going to punch something out here, or maybe he's just been held up by some of the cars. You can see it can be very congested out there with so many cars out on the track, and as people come on and off the track, from the pits, it slows people down and those sorts of things. So really their positioning on the track means everything when it comes to this qualifying session. Only 30 minutes. But I guess the big thing here, Matty, as well, is that we got a 2-hour race coming up, and you don't want to see them actually fatigue themselves too much. So some of these guys potentially don't do the full qualifying session.
Also looking at overtake, but I'm really concerned here though when you look at turn number 1 is where my concern is. Because when you come in here, we're going to see a lot of people off the start. That is going to be 2 and 3 wide. Then you got a little chicane there. Now that could be carnage. The other factor is when people rejoin the race here, you can see pit exit there. Now cars are on pace, are trying to get to the left-hand side of the track to set themselves up for that next corner as they go into turn number 3. Now, if you've got cars exiting, that is going to be a real issue, especially if they come out cold tyres, they're not on pace. So watch throughout the race to see what happens there with pit exit if we have different pit stop strategies, because we saw it on Wednesday night. There was a practice session. Some people chose to go the short stop there and really extend themselves there to get themselves out into a different area, like in the race, give themselves some clean air, and other people chose, no, we'll go all the way to the end. So it was very interesting on Wednesday night. I just joined in and watched in the background to see what people were doing, and there was a lot of talk on the Discord channel about fuel strategies and how many litres per lap everyone was using. Like we say, it's probably about 4.5 to 4.7 litres per lap. We've got 2 scheduled safety cars. Now, they're not scheduled on a certain lap, but there will be 2 safety cars come out throughout this race randomly, which will bunch them up. can you hold on with the fuel strategy? Do you take the risk and go early, get yourself some clean air? What if you don't go in? They're going to have to pit stop at least 3 times in this race. No matter what, they start with 55 litres. 110 litres is a full tank. Whether they all go that or whether maybe they use the strategy, go 4 pit stops but use the safety cars. I don't know, Tegan. It's something we're going to have to leave up to them, and they're going to have to be super smart about it. And Jack Widdis is one who probably sitting in the background, just checking his crew chief, making sure that he's taking on just the fuel that he needs, and fuel saving will come into that one as well.
Yeah, 100%. And Jack Widdis has just put himself up at another spot, so he's sitting third after that last lap, but still not quite the pace that he needs to be able to knock off the next 2 in front of him, being Blake Warboys and Sam Dicker. So a good battle going on here between the 2 flat-out kart entries of Dicker and Norman. Yeah, they've been fantastic to watch. They were co-partners in the 6-hour race that we did at Bathurst last year, and obviously took out the win. And yeah, they do get around fairly well. So it'd be interesting to see how Sam Dicker goes with a strong start here, starting out of 2nd position. If the qualifying positions stay as they are right now, because we've got Jack Widdis and Craig Anstbatch, who are both showing us in the pits right now. Paulie Mansell will be able to advance up to 5th position with Kyle Leach in behind him in 6th. But yeah, I think, Eddie, we talked about it, you know, Sam hasn't really been out here. I don't think we've seen him throughout the series, and is now coming out for this final round, has given himself a really strong start. See if on this last couple of laps, you know, he's really only got 2 laps left in him of this expected performance at Dyno Tune qualifying session, and see if he can advance any further up and take out that top spot as he's reaching the final stretch of this lap here. They're about to go through the dogleg. It's a fantastic looking car there. Sam Dicker's in the flat-out karts entries, as looks like someone in the McGee's car. That might be Michael Gore there, who's had a bit of a stack in front. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to watch out for. Is a lot of these guys coming out of dogleg potentially, you know, putting the car around and you know, causing some dramas for some of the leaders there.
I reckon that bus stop's going to be where some people take a dive too for an overtaking opportunity. That's going to be the interesting thing. And we'll check out Sam Dicker's time there as we go. 1:45.831. So still a second off, and he might be just trying to tow his teammate around there, I reckon, behind, and just see if he can get him up to speed too. Kevin Norman, maybe pull him up the qualifying ranks a bit. Sam Dicker is going to start on number 1 of the grid. Now, do you want to be on the inside? Is P2 a good position there? Might be the dirty line of the track, but you're going to have the inside line. It's a left-hand corner 1, and I'm going to predict it. They're going to be 3 wide into there, I reckon, on the start for sure. As we go less than 1 minute now in the Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tune qualifying left. So less than 1 minute, they'll get to finish the lap off that they're on. I'm just going to see who's out on track. Still a few out there. Justin McLean's out there. Tyrone Anderson's message in just said, I'm just here for the beers. He's just here for the beers. Not the beards, the beers. Yeah, we have a little look. Justin McLean getting around, who was another late entry into our series, unfortunately. Came in purely because, yeah, we had some people that dropped out, and the Racecraft Simulations course on the side, who do a fantastic job over there in WA with the sim gear. So I'm sure Justin, if he's got the Racecraft on, means he's got a fair bit of gear from them. So you'll have a pretty good setup, I'd say, when it comes to sim rig time. Peter B slowing down. So qualifying session coming to an end now. Jack Gray looks like he's still got a little bit to do here. Still on just comes around to start another lap too. He's not too far in. That looks like he's going out of the turn number 6 to head up on the banking. It is the Jack Gray, so he's going to come around and complete a lap. I'm just going to get this up and see if we've got some time. So it does look like this will be, so far, is a good lap for him. He's currently sitting down there, obviously. Oh, that's gave him the camera curse. Oh, nice slide though for Jack Gray. Here he goes on the brakes. Oh, he's hurt that livery though. That livery. There's that Cotter in the background actually, I reckon. Here's Tim Gracie. Tim Gracie's going by the Kiwi. Has he got some Kiwi talent on board tonight? We didn't see any earlier. Some burnouts there, I like, from Jack Gray in the background. Qualifying session is run and done though. Checkered flag is out, so qualifying session is done. They'll get to finish this lap off. We might as well stay on Mr. Gracie. Gracie bet to see what happens. Will he improve at the moment? I'm just trying to see where he is actually. He's down 28th position, so can Mr. Gracie move up from there? He's got to improve a fair bit if he wants to get on the top 3. I don't think he's too worried about that one, but can he improve from the 150 he ran earlier? Is he going to pull in? He's not too worried about that. He's going to pull in the pits. So Blake Warboys looks like he's going to is going to be our number one there. Looks like everyone else is in. Daniel Hodgson now. We haven't seen him out on track, so he's got the big L plates on and only joined us late as well. And he managed to finish down the back of the pack there the other week. But I love the fact they put the L plates on when they know they're a bit of a novice when it comes to the iRacing. But he's in the series and he's out there getting some laps in. And I do not have a complete lap from him, so I think he's only just joined us because I've only just noticed his name come up down the bottom, or maybe he just hasn't completed a lap yet. So our qualifying session looks like it is about to be run and done. Okay, can confirm Gracie better still paying $1.01 for me to win the race from Tyrone Anderson. Oh, Gracie, but still alive and well. Looks like that's going to be the final car to come in. Daniel Hodgson, yeah. So that looks like our qualifying session run and done. As it looks like we might change over to our 10-minute warm-up session. Let's have a look at the qualifying results here for the Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning qualifying session for the Shannons Insurance NTE Series for 2021. Round number 5, the final round here at Daytona International Speedway. And here we go. Teagues, Blake Warboys up the top there, 144.03. We did expect to see a 143 here tonight, but has not happened. Very close though. Sam Dicker managed to get just behind him with a 144.079. Jack Widdis a 144.209. Now, he has been a minimum 0.5 of a second in front of everyone when it comes to qualifying. Tonight he's 0.2 off the pace, so he's going to have to put something together when it comes to race pace. Craig Ansbach, the Tanked SRT team. Last time we saw him was round number 1. He was second on the grid for qualifying. He's 4th tonight, so watch out for him as well because he does go through the race quite nicely. A 144.237. Paul Mansell back in 5th position though. So Paul Mansell back in 5th position. Unfortunately for him, he would have hoped to probably start up a little bit further than that. Guy Leach in 6th position there, just behind him. Timmy Nicol in 7th. So another strong qualifying session. Timmy Nicol always seems to be in that top 10. Then we go back to Kevin Norman. Jake Burgess would be looking for a better start than 9th, but there he is. Daniel Norris in 10th. Michael Freeman 11th. Dylan Sates in 12th. Justin McLean in 13th. Tyrone Anderson 14th. Mark Peck in 15th. And as we get him on there, Michael Howketis in 16th. Peter B in 17th. Rossi Johnson 18th. 19th is Michael Gore. 20th is Dan Kerr. Clay Rich is back in 21. Shane Ewan's 22nd. Jack Gray 23rd. Simon Farrington in 24th. Mitch Strzelecki in 25th. Justin Cotter 26th. Timothy Driscoll in 27th. Tim Gracie in 28th. And Daniel Hodgson is actually in the mix there. He won't start out at 31. He's going to come up a bit, I'd say, to 29 with their safety car and our race controllers in the system. But Tegan, any surprises there for you when it comes to qualifying?
I think that's probably where we would have seen most of the guys. I probably would have expected Jack Widdis to top out the tree. I thought maybe he was holding something there for the final stages. But yeah, look, I think you know, though, that top 10 is pretty consistent with what we've seen for the entire series. So Timmy Nicol does well for himself, and he manages, as you said, get himself up in the top 10 pretty much throughout the entire series. So he's done it before and been there, and then been cursed with some early race bad luck. So hopefully for Timmy Nicol, of course one of our series sponsors, he can do well for himself and finish out a final series run in the top 10. But yeah, no, look, I think it's a pretty solid result for everyone there, and I think it's going to be exciting. It sets everyone up. I mean, 2 hours is a long race regardless, and you know, even with the qualifying results, you know, it can all change very, very quickly. So we'll see how this rolls out as the guys get out on track and get the 2 hour race underway.
Yeah, and yeah, Jack Widdis is my big surprise out of that one, but that looks like our qualifying session is run down. That's how they all landed. Thanks to all of our sponsors, of course, Tim Nicol Photography, NP Style and Signs. Can't thank Nola enough for everything she's done, those beautiful posters that went out. And the NTE Series, of course, once again for 2021, all thanks to Shannons Insurance. Roadrunner, of course, Airs NT Auto Inspections and Road Services NT, some bloke at the end, Medica Media, and of course Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning for the qualifying session. Of course, our warm-up session underway before we get underway with that 2 hour race. Don't know what they're doing out there. They should be saving themselves, I reckon, for this one. But let's have another look. If you just joined us, let's have a look where the championship sits at the moment. So Jack Widdis is leading the championship. We spoke about it earlier. He needs to finish second. It doesn't matter where anyone else finishes. If he finishes second, he takes it out. Guy Leach in second position. Now, if Guy Leach wins and Jack gets third, he will get the win. Now, we'll go through this. We've got 2 hours. I've got my spreadsheet up. I'm going to bang the numbers in there, and we'll keep up to date where they are and where they could possibly be if they move a couple of positions. I'll try and keep you up to date with that as we go through the race. But Guy Leach needs to finish a number of positions in front of Jack Widders. He basically needs an additional 16 points. Basically at the end, he needs an additional 16 points. If they finish further down, like say 10th and 15th, that could still a possibility as long as Guy Leach is in front of Jack Widders. Paul Mansell, long shot. Jack needs to end up in 15th or worse, and Paul Mansell needs to be on the top, and we'll see how that goes. Guy Leach was somewhere, probably needs to be 14th or 13th then, so he needs to be back a bit further as well. And extreme outside chance, and I reckon it's about 100 to 1, is JB, the fearless leader. If you go to Gracie Bet now, I think it's $99.08 to 1 that JB can take the win here, because pretty much the top three need to be outside position 26 or lower, and JB needs to be on the number 1 in the podium. In saying that, it's a possibility. So they're the 4 names that could win this championship. Jack Widders, though, you would think would be the favourite at the moment, but he needs to stay in front of Guy Leach and Paul Mansell is basically where he needs to be. As long as he can stay in front of Guy Leach and Paul Mansell, doesn't matter where he ends, he will take out this championship for the Shannons Insurance NTE Series for 2021. Some other people in there, Kevin Norman, still a possibility of getting second. Dylan Sates, outside chance of getting third as well. So we will watch that. JB, Paul Mansell, that could be a nice little battle for us, Tegan, because they're only 33 points apart. But if Paul Mansell has a shocker like he did at Oran Park, there's a big chance. Oh no, sorry, it was Phillip Island, wasn't it? Phillip Island. JB has a chance to get on the podium here in the championship.
Yeah, you did right there, and I think JB would be pretty happy with himself regardless. But I think it would just be a nice little cherry on the top to make himself on the podium. I would have been certain that JB would have been switched on enough to put in the sub-regs that there was a fearless leader points addition in there as well, like an additional 100 points for him or something like that. You would have thought he would have had that sorted.
Yeah, you would have thought. I don't know. You just don't know with him anymore, do you? So you would have thought.
Nothing surprising me with him.
Nothing surprising. What we might do is grab a couple of quick words from our fantastic sponsors here for the NTE Series.
The 2021 Shannons Insurance NTE Series is back, all thanks to our series sponsors. Shannons Insurance, Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning, Tim Nickel Photography, NP Style Signage and Graphics, Auto Inspections and Road Services NT, Roadrunner, and of course, Matty Cav Media.
Yeah, we need to thank all of our great supporters here for the Shannons Insurance NTE Series. It's fantastic to have them all. Well, I think a lot of them have come over too. I mean, Shannons Insurance have come back, and we've had some names that there from before as well. MP Style and Signage doing those fantastic banners, and we could get a printout of those as well if you request them at the start of the season with everyone's livery. So a lot of people just doing some fantastic things throughout the race. But Shannons Insurance, don't forget, they do have the Show and Shine back for 2021. Over $34,000 in prizes to be won. Of course, terms and conditions apply. Enter now. Go to the Shannons Insurance website or the wshannonsinsurance.com.au or 134646. So, we will be watching them. We need to thank everyone who's been a part of it in the background. Paul Mansell, a bit of a shout out to him. We know he did a lot of work in the early days with all the liveries too, and I think he's probably worked on half the liveries in the field to start with. So it's been a good time, and everyone's been involved once again. And Tegan, a little bit of news there that I am going to put out there a little bit early. I reckon watch this space, because last year we did the Bathurst, didn't we? We did it. Shannon,
we did.
We did an NTE Series Bathurst 1000, and I've got a feeling. I've just got a feeling that Mr. JB's been talking to me already about some dates later in the year and asking some interesting questions. I have a feeling that watch this space. Stay tuned to the NTE Series Facebook page, because we could see some extra stuff, I reckon. We could see something happen.
That's great news, and it was so much fun last year. And how much did we feel buggered at the end of it? After talking for the 6 hours, and there was an additional commentator with us, with Rusty joining. But these guys must have been absolutely buggered at the end of their race. But it'll be good to be able to do that again. I think we had up to 3 drivers per team for last year's, and produced some fantastic racing. So it'd be really good to see it again, and just to be able to do it all over again, because it's a whole heap of fun, and just to see the different strategy. I mean, I think there was one I think there was one team that basically they did the minimum laps was 21 or something. So one person did that, then the other team member did the rest of the race. So it was a huge effort. But yeah, the different strategies really came out during that whole 6 hour.
Yeah, it did. Let's go to quickly. As a few things changed around for me, but let's quickly go down to, though, our starting grid now. Let's run through them once again for you here. Starting grid tonight for the final round. Of course, Blake Warboys is going to start at the front. We don't have our graphic for him, so we don't sit up there. But super impressive. Sam Dicker, though, is in P2. Jack Widders back to position number 3 in the third row. And then we go on to, obviously, Craig Anspach out of P4. Paul Mansell in the third row in P5 alongside his teammate in the Injectors Online entry of Guy Leach. Heading on to the next one, Timmy Nicol on the fourth row alongside Kevin Norman. JB back in the fifth row with Daniel Norris alongside from the West of Roost Restorations. It must be about 8 o'clock in the morning over there back in 1998. Old WA, it's nice and early. Michael Freeman in the Iron Lac there on row number 6 with Dylan Sakes, a young gun. Can he make it through from that position? P13. Now, this is all going to go all away from me now because we're missing some of these graphics here because late people coming into the series there. And I don't remember who was in P13. Tyrone Anderson's going to be out of 14, but he's just here for the beers. Mark Peck, Jamarcus in P15. Michael Alkidis in P16. Will he make a top 10 finish? Rossi Johnson back there in P18. Sorry for this one there, but the graphics not up. Michael Gore in P19 and the McGee's entry. We saw him with a big off before. Dan Kerr, the Alice Springs entry, the Bizcom entry in P20. Clay Richards back in 21. Well, will we see Richards on the podium tonight? We don't know. Shane Ewens, that Territories Ice Coffee entry in P22. And, of course, Jack Gray in 23. Just going through as we get a bit of a grid increase here. Mitch Strzelecki back in 25. It's row 13 with Justin Cotter alongside. Timmy Gracie back in P28. I think that does round us out, and just Hodgson will be there somewhere as well. So that looks like our starting grid here. As they start to ramp up, they are forming up on the grid. Let's see if we can get on with Blake Warboys, who will be starting things off. We'll try and get them here for the start. It's going to be a huge start here. Of course, Daytona International Raceway, or International Speedway, really. 12 corners, 5.7 kilometres to get around here. We're not far from starting this race. Just waiting 20 seconds before they get this one fired up. We are about to get underway with the final round. Will Jack Widders take the 2021 series? We don't know. Looking at the start here, we'll check him out. Blake Warboy's going to lead us off the front row of the grid. Alongside him will be Sam Dicker. Jack Widders back in third. Craig Anspach in fourth. Paul Mansell, Guy Leach, Tim Nicol, Kevin Norman, Jake Burgess and Daniel Norris on the fifth row. Who will it be? The start is going to be interesting. Turn number 1, Tegan. That's where it's all going to happen. Waiting for them. They're fired up. Waiting for the lights to come up. Here we go. Wait for them to go out. The revs come up. We're about to get a start. Check them out in the distance. Here we go. Start. Oh, no. Who's that stuck there on the grid? I'm just trying to see who it is. They're going to move around.
Oh.
Big coming together in the background. Trying to see who that is. Might go to a quick replay here and see if we can grab who that is in the background. Oh, is that Guy Leach? That Guy Leach.
Yeah, I think that was, or
No.
it might have even been Paul Mansell.
No, that's Paul Mansell. That's P-Man. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Paul Mansell now is way back as we check out our standings. We bring them up. 2-hour race. He's going to have plenty to get back into this one, but where has he ended up? In P22 for Mr. Mansell. And look at the damage on that car. Wow. That is super important in this race to note. That's going to hurt. So what I am going to do is I'm going to see if I can bring that up, because that was a big starting moment. See if we can get back onto that one. Wait till we see anything out of race control as well, because that's the biggest thing out. Are they going to deploy a safety car? That is the biggest thing to watch at the moment. So our race, it has all happened. Huge incident there at the start of the race with Paul Mansell. Trying to see.
Yeah, that's not at all what he wants to happen at the start of the race, and puts him at a huge disadvantage. I mean, just in positions and probably how that car would be handling as well. So having a look at another replay here.
It's not going to grab him, unfortunately. I was hoping we might get back to the start of the race, but we'll see what we can do there. If I can try and get us back to the start of the race, because so many things happening at the moment. It's going crazy in the events page because there is so much stuff that has gone wrong with that one. So unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to get a session event on that one. So we'll have to put that one in the memory bank and have a look at that a little bit later, because I reckon there's going to be something going on with race control very, very shortly. So we'll get back on board, though, with our leader there. You can see Blake Warboys still leading us out at the moment. Holding on to this race, Jack Widders just behind him. He's getting a little bit of net code there, and you can see half a second there. And Sam Dick has gone back to third. So Jack Widders has a good start on this one, has already made one position.
Yeah, wow, what a start. I was just having a look back further as well. Justin McLean has some black smoke coming out of the back of his, so not sure if he was caught up in that as well, and has done some damage. But yeah, there's going to be some people who will be very upset with that start, and I'm not sure what would have gone on with his car there, Paul Mansell, but it just didn't get away there, and unfortunately a number of cars caught up. And just as we went to the replay, it looked like there was another incident on that first turn as well. So yeah, definitely as we were saying, the qualifying session is all well and good, but you know, if you mess up that start, or someone else accidentally messes it up for you, you know, it really puts you at a disadvantage. Good to see. I'm just checking back through. It looks like Timmy Nichols still up in 7th position, so he hasn't actually been caught up in the action there. So I was just wondering whether he might have you know, accidentally been caught up there as well and lost a heap of positioning. But no, good to see Timmy Nichols still in 7th position and battling it out with one of the flat out kart entries.
I am going to try and go back. Here we go. It's just filling up. There's so much going on. I'm going to try and go back to the start. If this screen will stop moving around me, but it's not going to. So I'm going to try and grab this one, because I want to see if we can get back to the start here. I'm not quite sure that's where I want to be. Here we go. A little bit of the start here, and we know we're looking for Paul Mansell somewhere there. So there's Guy Leach on the outside. Going to see that they start off, and we're just not quite sure what happens here. So replay on at the moment now. We just want to see what happened here on the start. Paul Mansell goes nowhere. So Tim Nicol goes around him. JB goes around him. Whoa, it's just, I don't know what's happened there. That to me, it looks like he has had a failure somewhere. There's been a component failure there. Is this Jack Widders leading us now? What's happened to Warboys? So while we've gone away from this looking for that replay, oh, there's a big incident in the background there too. I don't quite know who that is. We'll try and get up to the top, see if we can find out who's done what. But there's Peter B has gone past, Clay Richards there, Michael Freeman. There's been a few things happening. So Michael Freeman here, let's just have a look at here and see if this is the crash here. No, that's my screen moving too quickly for me to grab it actually. So here we go. This is Michael Freeman as we head to another replay there. He's coming around, and I think this might be what we saw a little bit earlier in the background. Looks like we got some. There we go. He just goes off. So that's all that's happened there. And then of course, we see everyone sort of locking up in the background there with Jack Widders. Trying to see where that overtake came from, because that is a big one there for that to happen. But I'm sure you can chase the one up for us as well. But it looks like Jack Widders has now taken the lead with Sam Dicker closely behind, and I do believe we have some stuff coming in. I'm just having a look. Looks like we've got some race control. We've got some stuff coming through. So I'm just going to try and grab some of that info for you.
Yes, so I'm just having a look back through here to see exactly where it went wrong for Blake Warboys and where he lost some positioning. So Jack Widders was just right on his tail throughout the entire race, and yeah, it just looks like, oh yep, so he's just gone wide in the first sets of corners on the third lap. So he's gone wide and just opened up the door for Widders and Dicker to sneak on through there, and he's gone back to third position, and he was really under pressure as well from Guy Leach and Anspatch in behind as well. So yeah, some big moves made there, and just unfortunately for Blake Warboys, just went out a little bit too wide going through the first sets of corners, and opened up the door for those other two guys to get on through.
Well, there you see car 21 contact on car 27, lap 1, so drive-through penalty. So that's Dylan Sates is going to get a drive-through penalty for making contact with Daniel Norris on lap 1. So very unfortunate for him. So yeah, not probably what he wanted to see, but Dylan Sates will have to cop that one. Craig Anspatch doing a nice job just back there now in third position, and Guy Leach in fourth. We see some smoke in the background once again. It's all sort of happening at the moment. Let's check out where the battles are here. As you can see the difference between each driver, and now looks like, well, Clay Richards here looks like he's in a little bit of a battle there, up in the 9th position though. So that's a nice little restart from him actually. He's done really well. He's going to have to watch out, though, because right behind him is Dan Kerr, just lurking in the background there in the Biz commentary. So that's another little battle that's going on as well. We can see Black Warboys, who's gone back and forth, and now has Guy Leach all over the back of him. Looks like these guys are going to get in a nice little tussle, and this is going to be for position number 4 at the moment. We don't see him come up on there, and see just back to Guy Leach there out to 0.2 of a second, just over there. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens between these two as well. So race control just sending through more messages. There's plenty going on here, and it looks like car number 519. Just trying to think who 519 is, because not a familiar number to me. It looks like a 5-second penalty, first pit stop with contact. Ah, it's Michael Freeman with car 100. So that's Jake Burgess. I do know that number. So some contact there, 5-second penalty, first pit stop with contact with. So that's why we saw him come in the pits and sit there for 5 seconds. So he's got that penalty after making contact with JB, our fearless leader. But that's race control doing that, of course, in the background, watching him and everything going on there. Now look at Blake Warboys closing this gap up to Craig Anspach. These top 4 are locked together at the moment. You can throw a blanket over these guys, all the way back to Guy Leach, I reckon, the top 5. And I'm just trying to have a bit of a think there, put the numbers together. There's less than 2 seconds between the top 5, and we can almost see them all out on track. And we'll try and see if we can grab a camera angle where we can see all 4 or 5. Here we go as they come around. You can see the top 4 just have a little bit of lead there over Guy Leach, who's slightly back as they go around the banking, though. He's going to try and get right under there, I reckon. Get in the under the rear wing there and try and grab some of that aero to try and pull him along as they can draft a bit down the back straight. You see him go through here. Jack Witter still holding out over Sam Dicker. Then it's Craig Anspach. And look at Black Warboys apply the pressure in the background. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to watch. Him going back those positions has just made this race a whole lot more interesting. He's going to really be pushing here, and he's all over the tail end of Craig Anspach and looking to make his moves. But what a tight front 5 that is. I mean, the guys are all right there. Guy Leach is just out of the top positions. As we say, that new race leader with Craig Anspach making a move on Witters and Dicker, and a bit of contact there between Dicker and Warboys. So, yeah, a little bit of contact there. Luckily that Dicker didn't actually lose too many positions or end up spinning out. And boy, Matty, we talked about how tight this race is going to be through these corners and where you're going to be able to overtake, and that's just showing it there in itself.
Yeah, you can see Sam Dicker out on the outside there in the loose stuff, and Guy Leach managed to get that move done, and looks like he might slot in front of Sam Dicker. So Sam Dicker will reset. He's a very seasoned racer. We've still got an hour and 50 minutes left. So with an hour and 50 minutes left, that's Hodgson in the background. Don't worry about him. That's one of our back runners, a learner. Just doing some drifting, man. Just having a good time in the background. Getting out of the way too.
Well, those guys sitting at the top 5 there would have just been puckering a little bit there, wondering if Hodgson was going to hold it together or pull out in front of him. So, yeah, he did the right thing. It didn't get in the way. But, yeah, tight battle here for the top 5. And it's the race is only 10 minutes in here, Matty, and we've already had so much action.
Yeah, plenty of action already happening here. Of course, it is the final round of the Shannons Insurance NTE Series, and Sam Dicker is back there. And watch out for Blake Warboys now. Will he make a move down here as they head into the bus stop down the back straight? Look how close it is. Jack Witters already got a few war wounds on the side. Craig Anspach, so seasoned racer, well known within the iRacing community, but he's getting around there, and what a good start from him. He started out of P4 on the grid there. Now, Blake Warboys, we missed what happened there, but he managed to go back a couple of positions. He's had to fight his way back through the pack. Him and Sam Dicker now, a little bit of contact there, but Jack Witters now with the opportunity, a tiny little bit of a gap there between 1 and 2, but they catch it up, and that's what it's all about, the aero here. Look at the banking here. Craig Anspach goes around the outside, used it to his advantage, but hard on the brakes. They go into turn number 1. Jack Witters has the inside line, but will it be the crossover here is Craig Anspach? No, it's a left hand and a right hand. Warboy's now doing a nice job to stay alongside. He might be able to force his way into second position. Oh, do they make contact with the wall there, or is that just some dirt being kicked up? Might just be dirt. Warboy's on the outside though. Guy Leach follows him around. Sam Dicker on the inside behind Anspach. Warboys looks like he might have the nose in front. I'm just having a look up at our timer screen. He's just got it out. I reckon it's about an inch of a spoiler, as now he looks like to get the lead here. Holds onto it too. What a drive from Warboys. Anspach will have to relinquish that position and just hold on there for third position. Now he goes a little bit wide. You do not want to be out on the dirty line of the track, because it will get loose and it'll be hard to apply the accelerator down, because you will spin the wheels very easily. you know, the simulation in iRacing is so realistic, like it would be on a real racetrack. So you like that if you get off onto the dirty line of the track, it is quite easy to spin those wheels. And it looks like Warboys now is going to have to fight it out and chase down the man in front, Jack Wittes, who is leading us. It's given him a chance to open it up to 0.7 of a second, but Warboys was super fast in qualifying. He had 0.2 a second when it comes to the qualifying time, which we haven't seen before on Jack Wittes. So watch him try and close this gap now, as it's already, you're going to see that go up and down. But let's see how it goes after a lap, how much he gets that time down to.
Yeah, this race is very intensive for being 13 minutes in. We've got 2 hours to go. Pit strategies still have to come in, and you know, there's so much going on here, Matty. It's fantastic to watch. But yeah, Blake Warboys, it's amazing to see how much he's been able to sort of claw his way back, and I think the race is going to be, you know, really tight throughout the entire 2 hours. You know, the strategy is going to be the pit strategy is going to be interesting. You know, these guys are really going to be holding onto their seat, watching when the car in front actually goes to pit, and you know, how they're going to do that. So yeah, it's I think we're going to be on the edge of our seats for the entire race.
I reckon we are. So we check that out. They are just picking up a little bit of dirt, I reckon, as they come through that turn number 1. They're right up against the wall, using as much curb as possible. Now, Warboy's going to try and close this gap down. Look at that. It's already down to 0.2 of a second. So he's caught up nearly half a second. Nearly half a second. Craig Anspach, so almost puts the spoiler into the rear of Warboys there as he gets under brakes, but unfortunately, luckily enough, he pulls it up, no contact by the looks of it there, and Guy Leach just behind him, holding out a hard-charging Sam Dicker. So it is all happening here at the moment, and just check this out as we see the scenes there. Not too much in it with the top 5, and they have just shot away from the rest of the pack. There is 7 seconds back to Kevin Norman from Sam Dicker, so they are shot right. Oh, Warboys, look, he might make a move here. Could this happen? Is he going to try and shoot down the inside as they head down to the bus stop? Can he make it happen hard under brakes? I reckon there's going to be a few people take a dive here. They're going to have to be very careful as they go through the bus stop. Make a little mistake there, go a little bit wide, end up with some wheels on the grass, and it is all over. You're going to be hard on the steering wheel, and there are 3 guys behind you willing to come and go straight past you, because I tell you what, Anspach, Leach and Dicker will come flying past you if you make a mistake and lose any sort of momentum, especially in that bus stop area. As you see, Guy Leach now on the inside flashing the lights as it looks like he's going to come in tight. Anspach puts the nose in. They're all they're coming into pits. They're going to be coming into pits, so it's going to be interesting to see who the effective leader is here. Is our safety car as they go down now. Are they going to get in nice and quickly here and see who comes out in front? They pull up. Oh, this one's going to be one. What are we going to do? We're going to watch this one, see as they come back out, because there's still a bit of racing going on. Probably need to catch up Mitch Strzelecki, actually, who's out on track. We might just see if these guys rejoin. Just quickly grab Mitch Strzelecki there, who's just holding out a hard-charging Jack Gray at the moment. So just holding out at the moment. So Clay Rich is now leading this race, but everyone's going to be coming back out on track now. So just going to head back to Jack Wittes there and see as they come out of here. They're still sitting in pit lane though. They might be taking the full 110 litres here. We spoke about this, 55 litres to start things off. We're talking less than 5 litres per lap, so they should have got about 10 laps in, probably more, probably 11 or 12. So we check this one out, and I am hearing on the race channel is we've got a safety car.
Yeah, so those guys timed it really, really well there with having the safety car coming out, and they've already had their first pit run and done. So, yeah, good strategy there. And as you said, they've sat there for a long time, so you'd have to imagine that they've taken the full contingent of fuel to get them through as far as possible. And the order doesn't really change too much here with the top 5. They've all sort of come out the exact same way that they went in. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Safety car out. Yeah, it's the race is really on here, Matty, and we're only 15 minutes into it, and there's plenty going on. So you know, it'd be interesting to see how long Paul Mansell's going to actually have to go in for to get his car repaired as well, because he took on a whole lot of damage and just jumped onto his car down the back of the field, and it looks like he's already had the car fixed up. So he obviously has jumped in the pits at some stage to get that car fixed back up. Obviously, it would have been limping around the track fairly bad. So he's sitting in 11th position, so he's done okay for himself. He's managed to claw back the positions that he lost, but you know, will he be able to get up towards the pointy end of the field and maybe try and look at a podium? You know, who knows?
No, who knows exactly. I mean, we speak about this one as they start to come around. So our first safety car of the night, it is only 16 minutes into the race. Basically, safety car is already out on field. Clay Richards is technically leading us at the race at the moment. However, he has not come in and pitted. We do know Jack Whittis is sitting in second, Blake Warboys in third, Craig Anspach in fourth, and Sam Dicker in fifth. Guy Leach in sixth. So they're the only two that have changed positions, Guy Leach and Sam Dicker. They will effectively go one position up because Clay Richards has not come into the pits. They are the guys who pitted. All these other cars you can see between, there's Cotter in between there. I think we're going to have Justin McLean's in there as well. I'm just trying to see who the other car is behind Clay Richards. But those guys there, they are basically, when we restart, those cars will have to go in. So they are going to drive through pit lane to effectively take them out of the lead part of the race and put them back where they should be, but we'll still maintain them bunched up. So that's how they've done it in the NTE series, is those guys between the effectively who are in the middle, the back runners who have got caught up in the safety car, will get a passage through, a drive through pit lane that gets them to bunch back up. They drive through, they come back out in the back of the pack before the race starts, back into their effective position. So that won't be too bad, but Clay Richards will be leading. It's be interesting to see if he tries to go in and grab some fuel at this point, or whether he's going to take the risk and run it out, because in saying that, starting with 55 litres, we're saying about 12 laps with safety car though, 8 laps completed. He might be able to push that out to maybe 14 if he's doing some fuel saving right now.
Yes, it's good to see Clay Richards up there. We've got 8 laps run and done, and he's sitting up the top there as the leader at the moment. As we have a look at the Shannons Motoring Insurance safety car, what a fantastic looking livery. It's good to see that we've gone through the motions and tidied these cars up, and how good's that? We've just got a couple of guys sitting there who are, just in their sims, ready to draw out the safety car. It's fantastic. I love it. It's changed the entire race here for us.
Yeah, no, it has. It's good to see that we can bring out a live safety car. It just helps them get around a bit too. So I'm glad we can have Shannons Insurance back on board for another year. And don't forget, they got over $34,000 in cash prizes up for grabs through their show and shine for 2021. Last year was virtual. Get on to shannonsinsurance.com.au for that one and get involved, mate. That's what I'm saying. Just get involved. Good luck, Jake Burgess from Chris. So can he get there? Look, mate, if everyone else finishes worse than 26th that's in front of him, he could be a winner. He could be the 2021 Shannons Insurance NTE Series winner. I don't think he's going to want to be. We know how much work he does behind the scenes here, so he probably want to relinquish that one a bit. But yeah, hopefully we will see him somewhere in the midst, because definitely he's got a chance for that third position, especially with the dramatic start that Paul Mansell had. So we head back to the start, and Paul Mansell just didn't go anywhere. It had to be a sim error. That's all I'm saying, Tegan. I couldn't imagine, with the amount of iRacing he does and everything, he just missed the start, unless he was grabbing a drink, a vodka cruiser or something,
Earned himself a new pink cruiser. But yeah, no, there's definitely some things that can happen there that they cause that sort of issue. But yeah, very uncharacteristic of Paulie Mansell to have that happen to him, and I'm sure he would have been feeling pretty bad about sort of stuffing the start for a few of the other guys in the field as well. And obviously, you go through all the work and put in the half-hour qualifying session just to have that happen. It's and for the guys who are caught up by that incident, it's very, very unfortunate for them.
Yes, and we see them come around. Not look like we're going to get started anytime soon, because we'll see those back markers caught up at the start that will end up somewhere going through a drive-through. Here we go. They're going through pit lane now. So it looks like they will come through. We'll probably see Cotter go through there, as well as Justin McLean as well. They will do a drive-through in pit lane, which will give Jack Whittis, Blake Warboys, Craig Anspach, Sam Dicker and Guy Leach a chance to get right behind Clay Richards, who has not pitted yet. So Clay Richards has not pitted. He does not have all the fuel on board. Jack Whittis does. Pretty much everyone else, I think, has done a pit stop as I'm looking up there. Yeah, it looks like we're, apart from people who have had to go in and take some damage repair there. Of course, we've got 4 fast repairs in this one. Everyone else has come in for a pit, and I do notice that our 2 in the middle haven't done the drive-through there. So that'll be interesting to see whether that's going to happen. No, it's Clay Richards still leading us out of this one. So not quite sure when the safety car is going to go off at this stage. Waiting to hear from race control. But once we do hear from race control, we will get that sorted for you. Jake Burgess copped a little bit of damage there. We did see that come through a little bit earlier with Justin McLean. Got a 5-second pit stop penalty, and so JB's already been in the pits twice. So I think maybe he's come in for a little bit of a repair there, which is unfortunate for JB, back in 19th position at the moment. So he's got a bit of work to do, old JB. He might be able to hold on to 4th though at this point, I think probably quite easily. You reckon?
Oh yeah, I can't see why not. He's sitting a long way back at the moment though, so it depends how this race is gonna go. But yeah, I think comfortably he should be able to sit there and hold on to that fourth on the thing, and I think he'll be pretty happy with himself overall with being able to put that sort of race together anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So our safety car on track at the moment and done a few laps, so we're just waiting to, obviously some word going on I think in our race control. I do not, I'm not listening to all of that, just to some of our stewards. There we go, the drive through looks like it's starting to drive through the pits, so we'll see everyone starting to bunch up again. Jack Widders there, so I do believe that means we will have one more lap under safety car conditions. Still 1 hour and 38 minutes pretty much left in this race. We did say we could see around 84 laps without the safety car, but we knew we'd get at least 2. Safety car starting to lead away, I do believe. Looks like maybe one more lap here, but interestingly enough, we are going to start them back in the bus stop. So the safety car will drive away, the VF Commodore, thanks to Shannons Insurance. And then somewhere around the bus stop is where the restart's going to be. Pretty much as you come out of the bus stop is where the restart's going to be. So going to be interesting for the guys further back who are entering the bus stop. That could be a problem there. We see guys dive down or miss their braking markers. So the restart could be very interesting on this one, and Clay Richards is going to lead us out. You can see him sitting in number 1, got the Shannons Insurance livery on side. Of course, the Richards family, a lot of Shannons Insurance sponsorship for them over the years and great supporters. And, what better way to thank Shannons Insurance than have them in the series and be part of it. So, thanks again to the Richards family for being part of the NTE series for 2021. And Clay still hasn't finished the race. He's leading out in front, and we're interested to see what the fuel stop strategy is you've got for him, because 55 litres, let's just say on a full run there, it's just under 5 litres. So you say 11 laps, maybe 12. Now we've had some fuel saving, we're on lap 10. Maybe we can get 14 or 15 with the fuel that they started with, 55 litres on board. He's going to have to come and take fuel sometime soon. Behind him, Jack Widders, Blake Warboys, Craig Anspach, Sam Dick and Guy Leach. Watch for them to try and get a good restart on him, and I'm sure it won't affect them too much. It's just where Clay is going to pop up back in the mix when he does take that pit stop and where he ends up.
Yeah, Paulie Mantle's sitting back in 10th position now, so not a bad run for him with getting that car repaired and being able to sit at 10th position after this first safety car. I mean, it's probably coming at an ideal time for him because he'll be able to claw back at some of the positions. You'd have to imagine that when he went in for his repairs, he would have probably taken on a lot of the fuel as well. So, whether he's changed his strategy up based on that or not, but as it looks like we might be back under racing conditions here. So I believe the safety car's pulled away and Clay Richards has got to start it again. 10 laps run and done. Just over an hour and a half left to go of this race, with Clay Richards leading us away from Jack Widders, Blake Warboys, Craig Anspach and Sam Dicker. If you've just joined us, the opening lap of the race was a huge drama with Paul Manson not getting off the line and causing an early race incident that changed up the lead. And we've had some lead changes with Warboys going back, Widders going up the front. Craig Anspach has had a look at the front end too. As we see him go 3 wide, Clay Richards goes back to 3rd position as Widders and Warboys are battling it out. Who is that? Sam Dicker loses it big time.
I'm going to go back to that one and see if we can grab it. Craig Anspach is minding his business here as we check out the replay very quickly. Coming down, locks the brake up, goes the boy. Sam Dicker, hard contact there. Hard contact.
Yeah,
wow, that's...
Craig Anspach really lucky not to get caught up in that one and lose any positions there, because Sam Dicker slammed into the side of him there. Obviously nowhere to go. We were expecting to see those sorts of things with these corners. You're carrying so much momentum going through there, and you've got to hold a heap of momentum to not lose any positions. So, Sam Dicker, the first one to sort of come under that sort of incident and lose a lot of ground there. I'm not sure if he's still even sitting up in the top 10 at this stage.
No, he's just sitting there back there in 4th. He's held on, so not too much happened to him, luckily. Guy Leach had a bit of a go there, though. I thought Guy might have got that move done over Anspach. It just looked like he locked a bit hard on the brakes there, and Sam Dicker was trying just as hard to get that restart done. And doesn't look like Sam Dicker's too far back either. And that's Kevin Norman, so Sam Dicker has gone back to 22nd position, and it'll be interesting if we can get a better look at this one to see how much damage on the car with that big front ender. It doesn't look too bad unless he's having a look. He hasn't gone back in the pits though, so it's not looking too bad at this point. Let's have a look at Blake Warboys now. Look at this, under 0.2 of a second as he tries to get in the draft now, and Jack Widders down the back. You battle for first position here up on screen after just 27 minutes of racing.
Yeah, so this track's so big, and the guys get the bit of a NASCAR draft up going through there, but then they've really got to be careful because they end up on the tail end of the car in front of them, and they've got the potential to, if they break a little bit earlier than what you expected, you end up, potentially punching someone around, and obviously everyone's competing for the top spot here, but I'm sure Jack Widders or War Boys wouldn't be after a win in that sort of fashion. They want to have some good, clean, tight racing, it'll be a shame to sort of have anything like that happen. So they're really got to be careful and sort of make sure they carry the momentum through these corners, but hold on to the flow throughout. So different spots being used at the moment here, Matty, for overtaking as well. It's been quite interesting, and a little bit of slingshot action happening as they go around the top sides of the track.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see, but the draft is where it comes to a point. We'll go back to the leaders here because War Boys has been... Jack Widders just got a really good start, I reckon, on the restart there. He seemed to go along with Clay Richards. They got out in front, and I reckon Clay Richards might have gone in the pits now. I'm just having a look at where he has ended up because back down, this is what we were talking about. Where would he rejoin if he went in the pits? And he has made a pit stop. So Clay Richards now back a bit further back in 22nd after restarting this race. But Jack Widders got away. War Boys just backed off a little bit there and left a bit of a gap, but it only took him a lap to get back on. So he's definitely a lot stronger in certain parts of the racetrack here, and it seems to be around this final corner. He just gets the drive. You see him get right under that rear wing. Now he's going to take a dive down the inside. We've seen a few brake lockups here, though, haven't we, as we go into turn number 1. How does he go? Let's see how War Boys goes. They go past the start. He just gets it done, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's quite impressive throughout this track, as Widders is not letting him go, though, right on his tail end. And staying with him. These two cars have really stormed away. We had a really tight battle there with the top 5 previously, but now it's the top battle going on between Craig Anspach from 3rd downwards with Guy Leach, Kevin Norman and Paulie Mansell all in there in a tight battle pack with the front 2 cars of Blake Warboys and Jack Widders just getting away and really having a big stretch out in front, so that gives them a little bit of comfort. But yeah, the battle's really going on from 3rd through to 6th place here with Paul Mansell. He's impressive. He's got himself back up to 6th position. Dan Kerr, that's a name that it's good to see up in 7th position. He's done well for himself. Michael Freeman in 8th, and 9th is Dylan Sates and Daniel Norris in 10th. So yeah, the battle going on. You see the battle pack thanks to Roadrunner down the bottom there between the Anspach, Leach, Norman and Mansell cars.
Yeah. It's a fantastic one there. As you can see them all just starting to pair out a bit there. But Paul Mansell, what a comeback from him. He's super good when it comes to putting the pit stop strategies together. And to have something happen at the start is probably an advantage in one way because he's got time to claw back that back, really. As you can see just in the front there, Warboy still holding out Jack Widders, who just doesn't seem to be moving away there. So a lot sort of happening at the moment there, but it seems to be the battle for 1 and 2. And then we go back to this battle for 3rd position between Craig Anspach, Guy Leach, Kevin Norman and Paul Mansell. So it's happening, the top 2 have really pulled away a little bit, and we catch up with them very quickly here, and you can see Jack Widders just doesn't seem to be able to make that up on Warboys. He just has this huge pace as he comes around this section of the track, and Jack Widders just hasn't been able to match him. It showed in qualifying 0.2 of a second where Jack Widders has been untouchable in qualifying. Now, fixed setup in these cars doesn't matter whether you're in a Mustang or Holden, so it's not like individual setups come into play, which we see in other series where some people just know how to set the car better for their driving style. Maybe the setup that was put out to these drivers this week just suits Blake Warboys a lot better.
Yeah, you're dead right, and that would be a massive thing for them in itself. Is especially when you talk about the fixed setup stuff. They generally, each driver will have a different style and different way they like a car being set up, but it brings back to a fair playing field, and the guys really have to work to what the car is. As we see, big lock up there from Craig Anspach. He goes out wide, that opens up the door, and he goes back to probably 6th position. He's back on the track now, but yeah, basically Guy Leach, Kevin Norman and Paul Mansell have all snuck on through there. And unfortunately there for Anspach, going back to 6th position. See if he can claw himself back and move the positions back up.
Oh, the number 5, Paulie Mansell now in P5. I mean, He's had to do a bit of work, hasn't he, to get back there, but he's managed to get back behind Guy Leach, who's his teammate, who's up in third. And here we go, Norman now looks like he's going to try and put a move on. Let's just, as the plane lands in the background, people missing out on the race. Oh, it's not a Qantas jet, mate. They're not flying over there anymore at the moment. Here we go through the bus stop section. Mansell now with a move. Oh, what's going to happen here? Mansell now puts a move on. Can he move up into P4 down on the inside? Looks like he's made it into P4 there. Gets underneath Kevin Norman. And what a move that was through the bus stop. Mansell in the Injectors Online entry just gets behind his teammate. He's going to have to watch out, though, because Kevin Norman out on the outside. And he's fast. He looks like he might take this position back, but he's on the outside line as Mansell just tucks in behind his teammate Guy Leach to see if they can do a bit of shake and bake. But Norman goes around the outside. He's almost made it 2 positions on this one. Guy Leach manages there. Norman now has to lock the break up. Leach goes wide. Mansell now on the inside. What a move up into P3. Oh, no, he's sideways. Gets too much curb. Oh, the Injectors Online boys are hard on the brakes. Oh, Norman now has to watch out. Leach now makes contact with his teammate. They won't want that to cause an issue with race control, because if race control see that, and they might go, hey, Leach might get a penalty out of that one because he makes contact with another car. They don't treat it like teammates. Wow, what a little battle we've had through that first section of the racetrack for these 3.
Yeah, absolutely. This is it's very great to see. I mean, this is probably the tightest battle packs we've had in the entire series, and the biggest amounts of changes. You know, Blake Warboys and Jack Witt are still out in the top 2 positions, but this 3rd through 6th position is just heating up massively as Blake Warboys has got himself back out to the lead and looking pretty comfortable in front of Jack Witters. Witters really unchallenged up to this point when it comes to the races, and qualified probably a little bit further back than what he wanted to, and you know, he's been pretty untouchable for the entire series and getting himself up the top end of the field. But Blake Warboys is coming through and you know, really giving him a hurry up and you know, leading this one. So an hour and 26 left to go, so still plenty that can go on, but yeah, some interesting racing going on.
Well, Jack Witters doesn't need to push it too much. I mean, we're looking at the battle right now, which is for 3rd position. So Guy Leach, Paul Mansell in 4th, Kevin Norman in 5th. Craig Anspach was in front of these guys and unfortunately locked the break up and went wide. Oh no, we're going to get back in on this one because it looks like there is another battle going on. Who is this? Oh no, they're going to go around. I'm going to get rid of that battle pack because I don't want to see it. I just don't want to. Look at them go. It's Mansell out in front. Leach sideways a little bit. Norman there has to hold on. Oh, where is he? Guy Leach just the back. Oh, grabs the curb and gets sideways. Mansell did that in the lap previously on the inside. A lock up from Mansell now. Guy Leach gets the position back. Oh, they tussle. Here we go. It's Guy Leach and Kevin Norman. These 2 are in a nice little battle at the moment. Now Leach gets it back on him with Norman with a little bit of a lock up. Will Norman return fire? This is the question. The flat out karts entry comes in hot. Locks the brake up. Gives Anspach a bit of a chance just in the background. He had that big brake lockout, went wide, dropped back quite significantly into P6, but you know, left open like 3 or 4 seconds all of a sudden. And now he is closing that gap up, and Paul Mansell is the winner out of this one because he is starting to move away. So why Guy Leach and Kevin Norman get caught up in this battle for position number 4? We have a look, Mansell now starting to gain a fair bit of momentum there, away from a 1.1 seconds back to his teammate Guy Leach. Now, Blake Warboys and Jack Witters half a second. That's pretty much how they've been for the last couple of laps. We'll quickly check in on them. But this just looks like repeat at the moment, actually. A bit of Groundhog Day for the last couple of laps. You see the gap there between Blake Warboys and Jack Witters. But does Jack Witters need to do anything, Tegan? I mean, like I said, if he comes position 2 tonight, he wins the championship. Is it worth getting involved in a huge battle with Blake Warboys and potentially causing damage to the car? Oh, look, he's a racer. If the opportunity's there and he's got the pace, he is going to take it. But if he doesn't have the pace, if he's matching pace with Blake Warboys, does he just stay behind him and just try and bring home this championship?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's you know, the whole strategy is going to be coming in. You got to believe that the racer within Jack Witters will be going. You know, he wants to finish off on a high and be at the front end of the field when the checker waves. But yeah, you're dead right. You know, he doesn't want to push too hard and you know, potentially put his championship at jeopardy, because if he doesn't finish the race at all, obviously he can lose the championship.
Is that a wiggle under brakes? That's a wiggle under brakes. Oh no, we might have a change of leader here. And Jack Witters wasn't quite close enough, but a bit of a wiggle under brakes there. This goes to show how close it actually is at the moment there. That's Jack Witters right behind our leader, Blake Warboys. Now, you got to be careful on the brakes. There's that tiny little bit of an error that can cause what you just saw there with Jack Widders with an opportunity to overtake. He wasn't quite close enough, but I mean, I don't think Widders needs to risk it. At the end of the day, if Blake makes a mistake, take advantage of it. But you don't need to go and put yourself out there at the moment. You can just let this battle happen as it is. Looks like Mr. Gracie in the background from Gracie Bet just moves out of the way. These guys need to watch out because they get in a battle. Paul Mansell is catching very, very tiny amounts each lap, but an hour and 23. Mansell is very well known for his pit stop strategies and taking a bit of a risk when it comes to fuel. We've seen it before, and sometimes, most of the time, it's worked for him. Let's be honest. He doesn't get to do a celebration burnout most of the time because that is how low he is on fuel. but a second here, you know, we believe there'll be at least 2 more pit stops, and there would definitely be another safety car at some point. So with 2 more pit stops and a safety car, watch for Mansell to use that in his pit stop strategies and see if he can, you know, that will actually help, whether it'll help him, whether he's got the right pit stop strategy to make that happen. There's a little bit going on down here. Craig Anspach has got in this battle again. Going back in here.
It's great. This racing, I honestly didn't expect this, Matty. I didn't expect this race to be as hot as what it is right now. But what's going to be interesting as well is when race control actually decide to put out the next safety car as well. As we just have a look at the series replay here.
I thought we were going to grab that overtake, but it's a bit further back, unfortunately.
But yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting to see what race control. Obviously, if the race starts stretching out a little bit too much, the guys might bring out the safety car to bunch everyone back up, or it might be dependent on if there's a fairly decent incident that takes out a lot of the drivers. But yeah, I mean, they could put it towards the tail end of this race, you know, as we're less than half an hour to go. And, you know, that's really going to change the whole top 5, because realistically, if you had the top 5 bunched up here, or even the top 6, you could say, with only a handful of laps left to go, you could really, you know, not bet, you know, Tim Gracie Bet wouldn't be able to put the odds on who would win.
Now, I was trying to go back to the pit and actually get on this car, but I think it may not be in the series at the moment, and I'm waiting for a DNF to come up possibly. Sam Dicker is out. Sam Dicker is in the pits, and well, looks like might be taking repairs or something, but he is blacked out of my screen. It says he's in the pit, but I tried to go to him just then, and it did not want to change over that camera angle, which generally means not in the session. So that's
I'm having a look over at my screen, and it's got Sam Dicker client is manually disconnected. So I would hazard a guess that you're right, mate. Maybe he's potentially you know, lost too many positions here, and maybe just decided to pull the pin on the race.
Well, and that's interesting, isn't it? Because Sam Dicker was, I'm just trying to remember where he was right up there when it comes to, he was in P2 when he qualified. That's where he started, out of P2. So a big contender not to be in this race, and could have been right between these two, I think, in the battle. Unfortunately, we've seen him on the brakes there a lot earlier, and big lockups there, and I'm not hearing anything out of race control at the moment. How are these guys still awake, Tommy Horton? Of course, mate, not all of us go to bed at 6 p.m. at night time. It's winter where I am. The sun goes down at 5. You'd be in bed by 4, I reckon. And when you start morning drinking, generally you get tired earlier. That's probably your problem, Tommy. That's what I'm saying. These guys don't drink till the afternoon. That's all it is.
Bit more stamina. Maybe that's the only reason that Tommy Horton hasn't jumped on for this final race. It's all too late for him.
Yeah, I believe it is. That's all it is. Paulie Mansell.
I tell you, that's what we've been missing throughout this entire series is Nick Sutton and Tommy Horton doing the burnouts at the end of every race. They didn't have to do well, but they'd always put on a good show at the end of it.
Yeah, we always went to that, didn't we? The burnout show is... look, I'm just looking at Kevin Norman hasn't been able to stay with the pace here. Craig Anspach now is on the back of Guy Leach in P5, so he's managed to work his way back in the tank. SRT Commodore. And the injectors online guys, though, are holding out 3 and 4 at the moment, and... look, Blake Warboys and Jack Widders have just streaked away. It's now blown out to 8.76. I talked about Paulie Mansell slowly, you know, clawing that gap back, but it hasn't happened. It's just gone out again. Oh, who's that out on the other side? I just don't know who that is. I'm hoping that's not our leaders. We'll check with them. But I did see a puff of smoke there from another car. As you see him, different sections of the track. We didn't grab who that was. Our leader's still out in front. Just making sure it's not them. Otherwise, we would have gone to a replay and try and grab that for you. So really, it's a battle for 1 and 2 at the moment, and Jack Widders doesn't look like he's trying to apply too much pressure to Blake Warboys, as we did mention. He's only got to finish P2 to clinch the Shannons Insurance NTE Series for 2021, the Series Championship. P2 will get Jack Widders home there, obviously in the Commodore Wreckers car. Look, Warboys, it's 2 hours. We're only 40 minutes in, just over 40 minutes in now. Fatigue's going to come into this one. Who's going to hold out? We already saw Warboys make a little bit of an error. Jack could do the same as well. So just by staying there and just waiting to see if that does happen is probably a good chance. They've just blown out another second now. I'm just trying to look at the last laps there. We might just have a look at some of the previous laps here. Look at these guys, 145, 145, 145 from Paul Mansell, but he's 4/10 behind. Then we go 146 to Guy Leach. Craig Ansbach to 145, so he's pushing hard. He's almost the fastest lap out of the previous lap. It's only Warboys who's gone faster than him, actually. So Craig Ansbach seems to have some race pace there at the moment in the Tank SRT Commodore. So that's going to be super interesting. I wonder if we have a look at the pit stop times as well, just to sort of sum this up. Warboys in for 39.5, 39.5 for Jack Widders. Paul Mansell 27, but that was very early on, remembering that he pitted with some fast repairs extremely early, so he wouldn't have been able to take all the fuel on. 39.1 from Guy Leach. Now, he is a teammate of Paul Mansell, and they would have spoken about stroke G a lot earlier on, I reckon. 39.4 for Ansbach. Kevin Norman 39.2. Dylan Saints 36.5. So Jake Burgess very early in on the pitch for some fast repairs as well. So this is where it all comes into play. A few different strategies in play now at the moment, and I know JB maybe looking for the short pit stop strategy, go in early, get the fuel, get some clean air, and get back out there. As we have a look at where JB actually is. We probably should talk about our series sponsors, because they're all over the side of his car there. If we get a bit of a better view of this one. The Shannons Insurance, of course, entry there for the NTE Series of Jake Burgess, who's currently sitting 4th in the championship. At the moment, though, he's in P number 8. Just holding out a bit of a Dan Kerr in the background from Alice Springs. Daniel Norris in 10 just behind him as well. So he's got himself locked into a little battle here, these three, which is good. We've got another little battle going on. We'll check out the little battle pack down there, all thanks to Roadrunner. Just holding out Dan Kerr. Daniel Norris behind him from the West Oz Roof Restoration, the WA guys. And generally they're about an hour and a half behind NT, but looks like they're only 1.2 behind, 1.2. So he's not too far behind. Oh, Dan Norris, he likes to have a bit of a laugh there, and I'm sure his kids are annoying him in the background. I know he'll be enjoying them in the background saying, "Go Dad, go Dad." It's Tommy Orton, 100% too late, guys. So
stop having, struggling to keep his eyes open.
Have lunchtime beers, not morning beers, all right, mate? That's all I'm saying. Oh, we'll head back to our leaders at the moment, though, because this is closed down. It goes up and down a little bit, but Jack Widders, I feel like he doesn't have the pace to go past Blake Warboys at the moment. I don't think he's got the outright pace to do it, but I feel like if Warboys makes any type of mistake, Jack Widders can get the pass done. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. It seems to be Jack Widders is getting faster as the fuel load comes off as well. So different drivers like the characteristics of the car differently, and maybe as the car load starts to lighten a bit, maybe they like the car to slide a bit more, be a bit looser out there compared to the heavy fuel load. Maybe that's all it is, because they can't adjust the car. It's a fixed setup, basically. So they're not going to be able to adjust the car like they normally would with their own personalised individual setup. Looks like they took on the same amount of fuel anyway in that pit stop fatigue.
Yeah, definitely. The timings were fairly similar, and it was quite interesting to see. They all, you would expect that out of Paulie Mansell and Guy Leach being teammates, but the other guys, they were all pretty much in the exact same time. So you'd have to imagine the pit strategy must have been that they were going to pump it with as much fuel as possible, and get out and do as long a lap as what they could do. So yeah, we're up to lap 22. We've got an hour and 15 left to go of this final race for the Shannons Insurance NTE Series for 2021. What a great series it's been so far. And we did promise that we're going to save the best for last, and I think we've really done it. This race has really produced the goods here, and we've got so much left of it as we just jump back on board with the Ejectors Online's entry of Paulie Mansell back up to P3. He's done a fantastic job. His teammate Guy Leach sitting in behind him, and Craig Ansbach in there in fifth position, I should say. And yeah, Paulie Mansell doing a great job. He's about to become under fire from Guy Leach. It's a really good spot there to get a lot of ground made up and look to put a pass on. So we see the changing positions happen there a lot, but you've got to be careful as you go into this corner to make sure that you don't lock up and lose the tail end of your car. As Craig Anspach right on the tail end of Paulie Mansell there. Guy Leach has moved his way up to 3rd position. So constant changes happening here. See if Craig Anspach can do anything here and put a move on the Injectors Online entries of Paul Mansell and Guy Leach. Kevin Norman still sitting back there in 6th with Jakey Burgess in 7th. Dylan States in 8th position. Daniel Norris in 9th and Dan Kerr in 10th. That's your top 10 for this final round.
Yes, and they're going to continue. I think Paul Mansell, I wonder if he missed a gear there or something, because that was pretty easy for Guy Leach to go past, and he really slowed off the pace and gave Craig Anspach a real opportunity there to close that gap down. So maybe just missing a gear there or something we didn't pick up on there as they went around there for Paulie Mansell. It'll be interesting to watch this one as Craig Anspach goes around, how this works, because I'm just waiting to see what the gap goes down to, because Guy Leach at this point just drove under Paul Mansell. I would assume an error. I reckon an error there, like he's made an error or something. It's a long race. I know he would have had the frustration there after the start. And we talk about this. What a comeback it is from Paulie Mansell now to be in 4th position, because on the start he just went nowhere. And I'm going to put it down to either he was asleep or he had a sim failure. Maybe it was a bit of net code. Maybe something broke. Maybe, failure or something of some description, because he just sat there. And contact made from cars behind, and he's managed to get back into this race now, and I know he's not going to want to push too hard with his teammate and take that in. They all start to pull into the pits, is it? Yes, here we're going to take some pit time. Let's check out the guys in front, though. They're in the pits as well, so everybody following everyone in the pit, and this is extremely interesting now. Watch these as they come back out. It doesn't look like anyone's going to take the lead here. I'm just having a look at the times. Is anyone going to overtake? We're going to keep on these guys in the pit. So this is the lead at the moment. Blake Warboys came in front. Jack Wittes behind him. The next battle was Paul Mansell, Guy Leach and Kevin Norman. Now Guy Leach was actually leading that one. It's changed a bit now. Michael Freeman's coming up, and he's going to take the effective lead now. Michael Freeman has been. Now Jack Wittes gets out in front of him. Yeah,
wow, that changes everything. And we got the safety car coming out here, and Jack Wittes managed to pull out in front of Warboys. So yeah, that changes the lead, and but I'm sure Warboys will be feeling pretty comfortable. He's been able to claw back each time and sort of go back after his lead. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether Jack Wittes holds on to this lead for long. It definitely does seem that Wittes seems to be able to be fairly smooth throughout this entire track, and occasionally Warboys goes out a little bit wide on certain corners, so maybe that's where the difference is. But Jack Wittes put himself in a good spot after that pit, and with the safety car out, he's sitting there in the 2nd position, so didn't lose too many positions, doesn't have to claw back too much at all with cars being in front. So it's going to be interesting to watch this restart.
Yeah, we missed that one, the safety car coming out. So they obviously saw that on their relative. They got the safety car sign come out. Of course, they manually dispatched safety car, and these guys will come around. Michael Freeman is actually up there in the number 1, but he's not effectively our leader, though. So Michael Freeman will be sitting there behind the safety car now. Hasn't come in, though, for that 2nd pit stop. So we're going to go back. Jack Wittes has done the undercut in the pits. Now, do we want to have a look at the pit time? I think we do. We definitely do. Now, let's have a look at this. Wittes, there we go. Just over 2 seconds of difference. But probably the best way to do it, do you really want to get stuck in that battle there, or do you do that? Do you undercut him in the pit stop and try and do some fuel saving?
Yeah, it's interesting, and you've got to imagine all the strategies coming out, and you'd have to think that they've put all the fuel back on board to get them through the next 20 or so laps, and make sure that they're going to go through to the end of the race. And I think what we worked out, Matty, they'll probably have one more pit stop in them after this, if not 2.
Yeah, look, we're not halfway through the race. Some fuel saving here possibly might get them back. Possibly might get them back. I'm going to say we've probably still got 2 pit stops here, because a full tank, we're going to go 110 litres, right? So let's do some sums here. And we're going to say 4.7 is a fairly heavy fuel burn. You're going to get about 23 laps, 23.4 laps. So let's just go 23 laps. And we're about a minute 45. Let's say 24 laps. We've got a bit of fuel saving going on here. And we're going to do, gee, now you're making me do some maths.
That's amazing.
Now you're making me do this. 42 minutes. I'm going to say you're going to get about 42 minutes out of a tank. So if they've filled up to the brim right now, one more pit stop is what I'm going to say.
Yep.
But if...
And if not, it's really going to come down to a splash and dash towards the end, and we could see the whole race change towards the end of this race.
Well, Jack Whittis now is undercutting by 2 seconds on the pit stop, right? So is that going to affect him in the next pit stop? This is the question. Can he fuel save enough? Now, if you can fuel save enough here, just maybe blip off the throttle a little bit, and I see we can just go in on the cockpit here and have a bit of a look. This is obviously our safety car there, which we don't want to be on. We want to be on Mr. Whittis. So Freeman's gone around now, pulled in the pits. And you're going to watch this. Look at this. They're going to be coasting, I would say. Coasting very nicely. Stay off the revs. Already in 4th gear, just cruising along, coasting along. I'm just trying to have a listen to this, see if he gets the clutch in here at any stage. Anyway, fuel save's going to come in. They are going to have to pit stop, but with that 2 seconds difference in fuel, will he lose that in the next pit stop where War Boys might be able to make that up on him in the next one? Or can Jack Whittis do enough fuel save that maybe it's only 1 second and it's all going to come down to how much you're going to risk it. And we see other people in the mix there. And what I'm surprised about is actually Paul Mansell. Now, actually, I shouldn't be surprised about Paul Mansell because, and I'll give you the reason for this. Let's just get back outside again, and of course our safety car there leading us away. I do want to get back on our safety car because Shannons Insurance did an absolutely fantastic job being on board again for this year's series. They'll line up there, safety car still out there. We haven't seen, we're not ready for it to go back in yet, but we're going to bring up the pit stop time again now. Let's have a look at Paul Mansell in 6th position. No, they've just had 2 pit stops. Let's bring up the time. Bad directing. 38 seconds. Now, remembering Paul Mansell came in extremely early on his first pit stop. So he took a full load of fuel, but probably about 6 laps earlier due to that repair he had to have. Now, he's now had to take additional fuel on to fill up, pushing him back into 6th. Now, he came in 5th position. The other one here I noticed is that Craig Anspach moved up. Kevin Norman, though, that meant he got the jump on Paul Mansell. So not a bad comeback considering Paul Mansell, he started out of position 5, didn't go anywhere, big incident, gets caught up, huge damage, has to pit stop, take a fast repair, fills the car up early, makes it to this point. To only be back in P6 is still a good result for Mr. Mansell.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, it's probably a huge spanner in the works for Paul Mansell with having to have that early pit stop. That would be out of the norm for him for pit strategy, but potentially it could play to his advantage as well, because if the guys do have to do a later stop with a splash and dash, has he now set himself up for success more because he's done the earlier stop? So yeah, really it's going to. Everything's going to come down to whether we have any more safety cars on this race and how they can fuel save and the like. So, and how much time we actually spend under the safety car. So,
look, Blake Warboys, I think he's been a lot better with the full fuel load. He seems to be on the restart last time after they filled up. He seemed to be much quicker than Jack Whittis, so maybe more comfortable in the car with the weight. Jack Whittis caught up to him towards the end, stayed right under his rear spoiler. I don't think he wanted to get in a dogfight. Like we say, he's only got to come in 2nd place tonight, and he clinches the championship for 2021 in the Shannons Insurance NTE series. So maybe this is strategic for him. He just thought, I'll just wait till the pit stop and get the undercut. But Jack Whittis had a great start last time. He was really onto the restart, even though Clay Richards was in front of him, and Warboys was a bit behind. So I'll be interested to see what Warboys does on the restart here, whether Jack still has that strong start and whether Warboys just makes it up in the banking again and just seem to have that pace. So watch for them too. I don't think Warboys has only been in the championship for 1 round. He's not fighting out for the championship points. Jack Whittis has everything to lose here. Now, how much does he want to get in a dogfight with him? I know he wants to win. There's no point racing if you don't want to win, but how much of a dogfight does he really want to get in, or does he just want to try and get out in front and get some clean air? And if Warboys has the pace, maybe just slot back in behind him once again, because he'd be doing a bit of fuel saving, I reckon, under that rear wing as well, which might give him an opportunity for that last undercut, because I can't mathematically see how they're going to make it home with a full fuel load with 1 hour and 4 minutes left, and we've done a number of laps under the safety car. I think there's one more fuel stop. It's going to be a splash and dash. It's not going to be a full 110 litres. That's all it is, maybe half a tank, and they're going to take this home. We did say, what, 42 minutes? So you think 55 litres is going to get you another 20 minutes out there under full race pace. Number of laps, one safety car. Even though we only have two, I shouldn't say scheduled safety cars, we have two known safety cars going to come out. We will still deploy another safety car if there's a major incident. So there's still an opportunity for another safety car at some point to show its face and do some more laps out the team.
Yeah, definitely right. And it all really depends on how the race goes. And, you know, I mean, maybe the race control decide to bunch the race back up and throw an additional safety car out there regardless. But yeah, no, it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how we get on through this and sort of what changes. I'm excited to see this top 6 battle pack being all bunched back up again for the start of this restart.
Here we go.
You know, we've seen some fantastic racing happening after the last restart, and you know, the safety car's bulleting away now, which means we're about to get this back underway. And yeah, from Jack Widders, you know, Warboys, Leach, Anspatch, Norman, and Mansell, it's going to be an exciting restart here.
All right, well, we're going to watch this one. Will Jack Widders get away on the restart? This is the battle we're watching at the moment. It's going to be super tight. They get started through the bus stop section. So look for here. They're about to come into the bus stop. You can see it. It's the exit to the bus stop where we start. They still have to stay slow here. They'll start to pick up pace about now. Look for the restart. Will Warboy stay with him? Widders there tries to drive away, gets a nice run too. Warboy's backs off a little bit. Watch out behind him though, because it's Guy Leach, Craig Anspatch, Kevin Norman and Paul Mansell all pushing really, really hard. But Warboys has been super fast on the banking. Jack Widders gets an incredible restart on this one, once again like he did last time, but it only took one lap for Warboys to reel him in. So watch out as they come around. We're about to get underway with racing once again, and hooking up here, we are completing 28th lap of the race now. So coming around to the lap 28. Sorry, we completed 27 laps. Out on the outside though, wide is Guy Leach. Anspatch there, lock up of the brakes. And that Norman, Kevin Norman there with a lock up on the brakes. Oh no, who's that? Is that Dan Kerr in the background? Just trying to have a look here. We go back to him, is Mr. Kerr. The West of Roofs. No, it's not Dan Kerr. Sorry, that is who we got in the background. He's moving back down the pack. I'm trying to find this one because that is unfortunate there as they move back. Dan Kerr's still out there in the BizCom entry. But that's unfortunate. There's the West Oz Roofing entry there in the background there that has gone hard into the wall, and he will not be happy about that one. Just don't know if you can see that up on your event screen there.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here, and it looks like there was actually contact between Dan Norris and Paul Mansell just on the entry of that corner. So yeah, unfortunately, Mansell's come across the track to cut in close on the on that turn, and just made contact with Norris, and Norris lost a bunch of positions. So very unfortunate there for Norris.
Let's have a look and see if we can grab this one on the restart. Here he is, Daniel Norris. So we're going back far enough here. Comes in, so Mansell's out wide already. Oh, he comes down, there's tyre barrier there. Whoa, Mansell won't need that from the race officials. That one's going to be a tight one there. Very tight to call that one. Tell you what, I'm glad we're not race officials. That's all I'm saying, Teagues.
No, it's much easier just saying what we think happened and not actually having to make any decisions, because you and I are far from decision makers. Craig Anspatch has got Guy Leach as well for P3. Oh, actually, probably shouldn't have changed over there, because I reckon we're about to see another move here. And just trying to see where the Craig Anspatch move is done. Let's just go live here, because I believe our front runners here, they're in a tight battle again. And Warboys is now putting all that pressure on. I do not want to miss something happening between these two, because, like I said, Warboys seem to be more impressive under the heavy fuel load there compared to Jack Widders. But Jack Widders supreme with those restarts. Craig Anspatch now up into third position, so he's got himself on a podium. Guy Leach, he was out wide on that first corner though, so there was a bit of an opportunity there for Craig Anspatch to take advantage of that. Kevin Norman followed him through. Now Paul Mansell in a little bit of a contact there, like we saw before with Daniel Norris. So we'll wait to hear from race control whether there was anything in that or not. Maybe there might have been nothing in that actually, because we're just commentating. We're just saying there was contact. So we'll wait to see what happens with that one. Good to see Tommy Orton still watching us out there on the stream. We've still kept him awake, which means we're doing our job. We've done our job. He's managed to stay awake for this entire time. It's fantastic. Hopefully the generator's still running in.
Yeah.
Tyrone Edison's managed to get himself up to 10th position, and Rossing Johnson, who we haven't really seen much for this entire race, is sitting in 9th position. So good to see Anderson and Johnson there making some moves and getting themselves in the top 10 after that restart. And just as we have a look at both of those cars.
Oh, look at Michael Gore here. This is another one I'm looking at. Michael Gore just gets a move done over Dan Kerr and Michael Halkitis. So this is position 11. Michael Gore leading this one out. So P11, P12, P13. And McGee's entry, the Holden Commodore, getting through, all thanks to the Roadrunner Battle Pack, as we see up on screen. And Dan Kerr and the BizCom entry has been rather impressive in this. He's had some really impressive moments throughout this series, Dan Kerr. It looks like he's going to have another move here. Can he get it done? He's in front. Takes back P11 there in the BizCom Commodore. Holding out Michael Gore, who got in there fast though into turn number 1. Here, can he pull it up? Oh, hard of the brakes, locks the wheels up. Oh, they change positions again. Dan Kerr.
Yeah, that is really the challenge of this track is you hold so much pace in there and knowing when to jump on the brakes and how much you need
now
to,
Rossi
to
Johnson.
get on the
Oh,
brakes.
Michael Halkitis in the background. Check this out though. They're all catching up to Tyrone Anderson. He's got a little bit of a lead over here. Looks like Rossi Johnson's going to be the one we've got to watch out for, actually. We'll see if we can change over to Rossi Johnson. And
Chloe Orton, let us know that she's bedtime.
oh, he's a funny bloke. We do like him there. These guys only spread out by a couple of seconds. And look at Rossi just falling off the pace. I don't know what's happened to him there. Maybe some issues with the car. He's got an issue with the sim rig. Maybe Tommy Orton's made him tired there. The 333 car just moving back in the pack now as Tyrone Anderson's going to have to watch out because he's going to come under a little bit of attack here at the moment. I need to go to the front though because I need to apologise because while we've been watching that, I don't need to explain this to you if you look up on your screen right now. Mr. Anspatch is out in front, so let me go to our events and see if I can find that while you talk about this one because that's a pretty big moment.
Yeah, he'd gone back to about 6th position before that restart and was really battling it out. As we see Jack Widders having to go underneath him there, holding out that flow. But yeah, having a look here, there's Craig Anspatch. He's a long way off there, Matty Cav. Like he's held a lot of pace through there. Widders and Warboys locked it up going into that corner, so that's what happened. Open up the door for Craig Anspatch to sneak on through. So that's the story as it goes. Is a bit of a lock up going into those corners, and as just opened the door for Anspatch. But as we just went through that replay, looks like the order's been restored for the front end of the field, and Widders back up to the top end of the field with Warboys going to second. Anspatch going back to third with Guy Leach behind him and Paul Mansell in 5th.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go back to our event so we can grab that where they got the move back done. I really wanted to get back down to that one because that was a big move there. We need to find out exactly how that happened. Of course, that was a big move just before, and yeah, a lot of information getting through iRacing at the moment. So we've got a bit of a backlog here to see what's going on in my session events, but we'll find out exactly what happened on there because that was a big one. So here we go. Let's see if we can go back to the replay where Jack Widders gets his position back. So it was a big lock up on the brakes into turn 1. Craig Anspatch got by, and we're, pretty much coming around the back section. They've managed to regain themselves here. This is a replay as we see just catch him up out there on the banking, really, don't they? Jack Widders. Warboys is going to follow him through there, and it's turn 1 again where they catch him. So Anspatch gets the lead for 1 lap of the race. And Anspatch importantly caught on the outside there, and it looks like a nice clean overtaking manoeuvre there. And Guy Leach gets a little bit of an opportunity there as well. So we'll go back live though to our leaders, and it looks like Craig Widders is still in the lead here, but Warboys all over the back of Anspatch, not letting him go anywhere. Guy Leach in the background, then Paul Mansell. So it's all happening here for P number 1 at the moment, and out on the outside is Leach. Is he going to get a move done here? Guy Leach, has he put himself in 2nd position? He's in 3rd at the moment. Warboys back in front. Oh, it's all happening here. He stays on the outside though, Leach. He's definitely going to hold on to 3rd position, but he's going to push the nose up here. He's going to take a bit of a risk in the Injectors Online Commodore over Warboys. Lock up in the background there. I'm just trying to, oh no, Warboys sideways. Anspatch now, they're 3 wide. That's Mansell and Norman in the background. Hey, Norm. See how he's going. Now, this gives Jack Widders a chance to move away from the rest of the pack. We need to stay on with Blake Warboys here, though, because this is where it's all sort of happening. He's got to watch out. Guy Leach, what a move on the outside that was just before. What a move.
Yeah, and here's the battle pack that we've seen that was happening before or just after the first restart. And the the first safety car, and it's all happening again. The pack's battered up. 55 minutes left to go of this one, and you got Jack Widders as the leader. But boy, the race is going on in behind them with War Boys, Leach, Anspatch, Mansell, and Norman. They're all having a go. Jacob Burgess 2.5 seconds in behind that top 6 battle pack. I'm sure he'll be pretty keen on clawing his way forwards and trying to get in the mix there. Yeah,
now as the War Boys does close, he just easily closes that gap up, I think, on Jack Widders. And look for a move to be done here. While we talk about this, Shane Newens has actually messaged in because I do see he has ejected from the race, and the word is graphics card. He said he should have bit the bullet a while ago, got a new one. As the lead changes down, War Boys takes it back in lap 31, gets the lead back over Jack Widders, who he doesn't really put up too much of a fight there at the time. I think he knew he didn't have the pace, and he just gets straight back under that wing. You don't want to fight it out into turn number 1 because so many racers have missed the braking point. They've locked up as Leach there almost gets around. Mansell now puts his nose in. Mansell on the move, back up to P5. Can he get P4 out of this one? Doesn't get it done on that corner. I think Jack Widders had the right move there. You know, if you want to fight it into turn number 1, there's a big problem there as we see another lock up in the background. I reckon that's going to be Norman once again because you see him back off the pace. Just seem to drop back a little bit more there as these two sort of go away a little bit. When we say a gap, we're only talking half a second over the rest of the field, but lock up there from Widders. He doesn't want to start making mistakes like this. He needs to finish in P2. Guy Leach, if something happens to War Boys and Guy Leach gets number 1, Jack Widders has to be in P2 to take the win. If Jack Widders ends up in P3 and Guy Leach gets the win, Guy Leach is possibly our winner is what I'm saying. I've got the spreadsheet up there. We're still going to have to wait for the official race control whether there's any penalties after the fact, but we're going to have some tentative numbers in there, and I've already done the sums on that. Blake War Boys only joining the series in round number 4 means not a contender in the championship, but definitely a contender when it comes to winning round 5 here at Daytona International Speedway. So we'll check that out. We've completed 32 laps at the moment. We are on lap number 33. As you can see him going around. And War Boys, he loves the heavy fuel load. Look at him just streak away now out to half a second over Jack Widders. And he's going to have to watch out because Guy Leach behind him, Craig Anspatch, Paul Mansell. I think we're going to get a nice battle, I reckon, between Craig Anspatch and Paul Mansell. I'm really looking forward to what could happen here, actually, because this could be hotly contended because Paul Mansell, look, terrible start, but he's managed to make his way back into the field. And Anspatch is a seasoned competitor, just like Paul Mansell and Guy Leach. As Leach goes a little bit wide, he's got a slightly different driving line there to Anspatch there, and I thought maybe a little bit of a lock-up, but no, he just wants to go a little bit wider there. Anspatch takes a slightly different line compared to the Injectors online entry of Guy Leach. Check him out in the middle of this little battle pack here. 1 and 2 just in front, but this is 3, 4, and 5. Anspatch, a tanked SRT team now between 2 Injectors online cars, just holding out for that 4th position. Oh, here we go. Sam Dicker's now messaged in, and good to see they're all watching there. He pinched the front, and good luck to Kev Dog. It's all K-Norm, Kev Dog. Now we got a new name for it. It's not K-Norm, it's Kev Dog.
He's not K-Norm, he's Kev Dog now.
Oh, Kev Dog. Woof,
fantastic.
Woof. Yeah, look. If he gets, I need to get some howling dogs loaded in case he gets on the podium. What do you reckon?
Oh, far out.
Oh, Peter Hatton, go Dan Kerr. Yeah, Danny's not doing too bad, actually. Oh, Dan Kerr. He's holding in there. He's holding his own. Unfortunately, he's back in 10th position at the moment, Dan Kerr. So we've been watching these guys at the front because this is where the battles have been predominantly, but we are looking at the times there. As you can see the gap on the right-hand side there, and if I see the gaps go down, we're going to have a little bit of a look. We might just... Rossi Johnson dropped off the pace there a little while ago. I'm going to go back to him. And Dan Kerr is just behind him. You just see in the BizCom entry there. So that's 9 and 10. So they've managed to get back on the pace there, and Rossi Johnson back in. JB's back up to 7th position. Just holding out Dylan Sates, another one who's now got the NTE Series livery on. It's just a Mustang and a Commodore. It's the only difference, really. Dylan Sates there. And did I hear something about him getting related to you earlier?
Oh, matchmaker Mark.
Matchmaker Jamarcus.
He's always trying to sell us kids off. It's unreal.
Jamarcus Island, where love happens. That's all I'm saying. I'll tell you what. So Dylan Sates in 8th position there. So Kevin Norman, you can see up on screen at the moment. The old Kev Dog. Just a bit of a brake lock-up earlier and just lost touch with the front guys there at the moment, but he's holding out in P6. The top 5, though, it's a big blanket, but you could throw a blanket over these guys. Maybe it's a picnic rug. You can throw a blanket over the top 2, and you can throw a blanket over 3 to 5, but a picnic rug over the top 5. Is that what we're going to go?
Absolutely. Yeah, tight battle going on between these top 5. Kev Dog's just dropped off the pace a little bit there. He's about 3 seconds in behind Paul Mansell in 5th position. So, but yeah, good to see that Dylan Sates, Rossi Johnson, and Dan Kerr have made their way up to the top 10. So, good battle going on, and they've made their way forwards. Just trying to have a look further back in the field, who else we've got. But yeah, jumping on board with the number 10 car of Craig Anspach sitting in P3 currently.
Look at that
have a look
movie
at the
just
lead. I'd love to have a look at the figures after this, Matty, and see exactly how many times the lead change has happened in this entire race. I reckon this would probably be the highest lead change we've ever had for the entire series.
Yeah, lead, you reckon? The lead?
Yeah.
Possibly. Oh, we will get the stats. Maybe we'll get JB, the fearless leader, to post them up. He'll be able to go through all the race results, because I've actually downloaded them all, and it tells you a lot of that stuff, so we would be able to get something. Oh no, is that contact? Let's have a look at the replay. I'm going to have a look at the replay on this one, because that's Guy Leach on the back of Craig Anspach. Now, do we get a gearbox shot here? I think that gives it away, doesn't it?
I think, I know that you and I are just commentators and we should be making the calls, but I would say there's contact. There is contact.
I'm pretty sure you can't see. Oh, Jack Widders has got back out in front while that's all happened. I'm pretty sure when you can see the suspension, there's a problem.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back and see if I can find out where that move was made, and we'll try and get a bit of a replay there as Guy Leach is driving slowly. Yes, we know that. So, Jack Widders. Jack Widders, here we go. Let's go back to the replay here for where the move was made. And it looks like it's going to be turn 1 once again. We just missed it out. We got a little bit excited about the Guy Leach and Craig Anspach, as you can see in the background there. Coming to turn number 1, and I reckon Widders has had a lock up here. This seems very uncharacteristic there. Okay, there you go. Warboys just locks it up. Widders goes through. In the background, everything's happening. It all happened at once there. Let's head back live, though, to the races now. Jack Widders is just being very patient and holding on to this lead. Now, Warboys definitely is a little bit faster. He just seems to be faster out there. Oh, Craig Anspach is still in the fight. Just having a look back here, and is that Mansell's just gone past him. So Paul Mansell has just gone past him. So I might just have a bit of a look here, because I was just having a look up on screen, and that looked pretty close here. Mansell comes down the inside. Anspach goes grass, slides it out. Well, he's going to have to relinquish that one there. That much grass, that's what race control would have said. You have to drop back either way. So Anspach is going to slot back in there as Warboys now back on the tail of Jack Widders, and I expect a move to try and be made in the next lap or so. It's interesting, isn't it, as they come into this turn number 1.
Craig Anspach did a fantastic job there during that off with the grass, and managing not to absolutely lose it. He did fairly well, and he would have potentially taken out Paulie Mansell with him. So yeah, fantastic job there by Craig Anspach not to lose too many positions and loop the car around. And he's still ahead of Guy Leach and Kevin Norman, as well as Jake Burgess.
So Paul Mansell now, he's currently in position 3, started at a P5 and that big issue with the start. So he'll be pretty happy to be back there, Craig Anspach, at that moment. Guy Leach now further back. Now, interesting enough, Paul Mansell's 3rd in the championship, Guy Leach in 2nd. But Paul Mansell has to catch up to him by, I'm just going to do a quick sum here, by about 70 points. Now, unless something happens to Guy Leach, even if Paul Mansell ends up on the podium, unless something happens to Guy Leach, unfortunately would not want to happen, I'll be surprised if that happens. I will be absolutely surprised. So we get back on board with our leader. Still holding out Warboys at this point, and I did note that he seems to be a lot better as the fuel load lightens. Jack Widders seems to get a lot quicker. Now, we said about 42 minutes he could probably go for on a full load. In saying that, behind a safety car, maybe 43, that was about 1:08. So I'm going to say somewhere from about half an hour left we might see him come in. In saying that, he did the undercut when it came into the pit stop timing. So he might want to come in a little bit earlier so he doesn't have to spend as much time in pit to top that fuel up, rather than burn it all the way down and then have to take it. You see Warboys goes for a big move on turn number 1, goes on the outside. I thought he might not pull that up, but he manages to get past. and Warboys regains the lead. And I think you're right, we're in for a record number of lead changes on this one. And how good is it with Jack Widders? He was dominant in 3 of the 4 races. And Warboys now taking it right to him in this 2-hour extended race here for Daytona International Speedway to finish things off round number 5, the final round of the Shannons Insurance NTE Series for 2021. And will Jack Widders get crowned the champion this time around? What's happened to Paul Mansell, last year's winner? He still might make a podium. He's sitting 3rd in the championship points, and he's sitting 3rd out there on track at the moment. This one's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, so the battle, it's just stretching out a little bit here, and Warboy's looking fairly comfortable out the front, just putting a bit of distance between himself and the second position of Widders, and managed to hold out that space coming towards the next set of corners. Yeah, I think you're definitely right. Is Warboy's looking a little bit more comfortable and having a little bit more pace than what Widders does at this stage of the race. But yeah, potentially where Widders catches up is just through a bit more smooth driving consistency throughout the entire race, and manage to catch up. So see if Widders can claw back and get a pass on Warboys, as Mansell, Anspach and Leach are now 3 seconds away from those top 2 positions. So exactly what we've seen before the second safety car, where the front 2 cars really stretched away and there was that tight battle pack from 3rd through to 6th position. It's all happening again, and Mansell's in 3rd position, which is really incredible considering the start of this race, and with Anspach sitting there in 4th, Leach is still back there in 5th, and Kevin Norman in 6th. So Kevin dropped off by about 3 seconds and managed to move back up and be right up close with that top battle, that next battle pack.
I'll tell you what, if I had time, I'd change that graphic to K-Dog.
Oh, absolutely.
I reckon next time he's got to have a livery done, flat out carts with a dog howling on the back.
Oh, Kev Dog.
Oh, K-Dog. Oh, Michael Freeman actually disqualified.
Jamarcus.
Where's Jamarcus?
He's made his way back up to the top 10.
See, top 10. I reckon we should probably go and have a little bit of a look at him. Let's see if we can find a bit of Jamarcus, because he's been a fantastic supporter here, and now running out of P10. So Paul Mansell, these guys holding on, and who's that? Is that Tim Gracie, the Kiwi in the background? Gracie bet just going off the track there, and he has put terrible odds on it. It's -10-1 that he will have an off-track incident.
Well, I think Jamarcus is really going well with the new flip-out socks. I think the extra grip has really helped him out here, and getting up to the top 10, he'll be absolutely stoked with this. He can finish out the top 10 in this final race, 2-hour-long race, and he's doing fantastic. That's a long time for the old boy to keep up any sort of focus and that. Yeah. Michael Gore and Halkitis just sitting outside of the top 10 in 11th and 12th position.
Look, Jamarcus, normally by now he's in the jacuzzi, he's got his leather pants off, he's taken his flip-out socks off, and by now he wouldn't be awake either. Him and Tommy Orton be having a beer in the jacuzzi, but looks like they've held on for this one. So, 10th place. Look, if he's top 10, and I don't want to jinx him, we should get him off camera, actually, because I don't want him in camera Curtis, because old Jamarcus, he would be stoked, I reckon, if he gets a top 10 finish here tonight. We had a heap of drivers in there. All sorts of things happen throughout the race. He can come home plenty. He's got a bit of damage on the side. The old Pecky's logo's been worn off. That'll be at MP style and signage for a bit of a rewrap this week. But, he'll be super happy with the top 10 finish.
I'm just having a look through some of the incident points as well. Just having a look through the field, and so our top person with the most incident points is Paul Mansell at the moment. So incident points, of course, coming down to those who have an off-track, make contact with the wall or another competitor. Those are all count towards incident points, and Paulie Mansell currently holding out the top spot there with 26 incident points, and the next closest being Jack Gray with 19. So very varied across. There's just having a look through here.
I'm just trying to remember what our incident point limit was.
Has one incident point, so fairly clean race. Rossi Johnson with 2. Some pretty low numbers there for some of the drivers.
Well, Jack Widders 0, and Blake Warboy 7. So, and I don't remember what the incident point limit was, because at some point, depending on the amount of incident points you get, you will actually incur a penalty, either a post-race penalty, or you could get a drive-through penalty or things like that. So that also comes into account. You need to watch out for that one. But Jack Widders with a clean race so far, and you get instant points brushing walls, going across, cutting track, I should say. Obviously, damage turned on here for this race as well, for this series, which is 4 fast repairs on for tonight if you need to use them, and we have seen Paul Mansell had to use one of those. JB's had to use one. Actually, where has JB ended up? I'm trying to have a little bit of a look here because he is up in 6th position now.
Yeah,
so
he's doing well for himself.
Paul Mansell's
have a look at Paul Mansell. He's pitted right now.
Well, interestingly enough, we need to get a bit of camera angle on him. Remembering he might be taking advantage just to come in early and top right up and lead at home, because if there's a massive incident, possibly, just possibly, you will see another safety car. Not scheduled. We said there would be a minimum 2 safety cars throughout. I believe that we haven't stopped because of an incident. They have been the 2 safety cars that we were told by race control would happen throughout the race to keep the racing punched up. But you take the risk now. Everyone's going to have to pit at some point. Now, Mansell caught in a bit of a dogfight there with Craig Ansbach. I mean, not too bad. He had the lead, but still drafting and things like that. Pits now, fills up to the end of the race, puts enough fuel in to go the whole way. Comes back out on track. Clean air. They come into pit. He's on a flying lap. Might be an advantage. Maybe the undercut's about to happen.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and yeah, you have to imagine that Paul Mansell knows exactly what he's doing here, and he would be taking into account that early pit stop that he had to do, and would be using that to his advantage now. And yeah, basically, if the other guys are now going to have to do any sort of splash and dash to get them through the last bit of the race, Paul Mansell has the advantage, and it could potentially lead to a complete change-up of the top positions.
That's exactly what could happen. As looks like Craig Ansbach and Guy Leach are going to battle it out once again. And these two have had an ongoing battle throughout the night, which has been good to watch, actually. I like these two. Battle for position number 3 at the moment. Craig Ansbach just holding on to that, with Paul Mansell bowing out and going into the pits. So we will wait to see. This is what I see, a car exiting pit lane. Looks like this one's going to be nice and clean, not coming out at the right point. But you see K-Dog there has to come across, and you've just got to be careful of those cars coming out of pit exit. And I'm just so glad that his teammate from Flat Out Karts, old Sam Dicker, has given him a new name here. It's obviously something they call him around the go-kart tracks. But K-Dog has now made it to the live stream, mate. Thousands of people watching. No. Oh, I so want to download a dog wolf now. It's just have it there on a button so I can just play it.
Ready to go.
I tell you what, these guys won't want us to do an E1000 series, because there are so many things that are going to come out of this one, aren't they? That
Absolutely.
It's going to create a lot of work for me up here, but I think the old sound desk is going to get a fair bit of a working. I think come an E1000, we get the same competitors. But yeah, look, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag here, and I don't want to get too excited, but there is some discussion about possibly another E1000 later on in the year that's not confirmed. All I can say is watch the NTE Series Facebook page, because if it does happen, that's where it will be announced, and that's where it will unfold.
Well,
how you get involved.
And that's a good thing, right, Matty, is that even if JB hasn't considered doing one, by us outing him and saying that he is thinking about doing one, he's going to end up feeling pressure to do one. So, even if there is no discussions happening, we've now made him part of the discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, he never said anything to me. I just thought we'd talk about it.
I just thought we'd talk about it until we had an E1000 again.
Until we pressured him into it. So the battle out for now 1 and 2, as you can see up on screen, though. Taking a look, it's been a long race. We've got 35 minutes left, and while these guys are sort of spread themselves out a little bit, I reckon we're going to grab a couple of quick words from our fantastic sponsors.
The 2021 Shannons Insurance NTE Series is back, all thanks to our series sponsors. Shannons Insurance, Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning, Tim Nickel Photography, NP Style Signage and Graphics, Auto Inspections and Road Services NT, Roadrunner, and of course, Matty Cav Media.
Yeah, can't thank all the sponsors from the series enough. They've been doing a fantastic job supporting us behind the scenes, and those posters that they generated early in the season that MP Style and Signage obviously got printed out and sent out were absolutely fantastic. So can't thank MP Style and Signage enough. Nyla does a fantastic job. If you're in the Northern Territory and need some sign writing done, please ring her. She is flat out, but I'm sure she will definitely look at your needs and try and help you out in the right direction. Big shout out to Peg's Performance and Dyno Tuning, of course, their qualifying session sponsored by them, and Jamarcus still out there in P8 at the moment. Is that a record from Jamarcus?
I think he's doing well. I would say so. If I can imagine what he's thinking right now, because it's his exact style of thinking is
Don't stuff this up. Don't stuff this up. Don't stuff this
if
up.
these 7 cars in front of me crash right now, I could win this.
I wonder.
That would be what he would be thinking.
I wonder how slippery his socks get. His flip-out socks when he starts sweating when he's in the top 10.
Oh, sweating through. He would have 6 Milwaukee fans pointed at his body right now, just making sure that he's nice and cool. It's amazing. The bloke can sweat in -1 degree weather.
Yeah, 4 aircons running in that gym. Not one bit of equipment being used, and he's sweating.
Absolutely. Jump back on board with Craig Anspach, who's sitting in 3rd position. So he's done pretty well for himself. He dropped off to about 6th position before the second safety car, and he's holding out and just ahead of Guy Leach and Kevin Norman, and looking like he's going to hold on to the 4th position for the time being. They've dropped off massively from the front 2 cars of Blake Warboys and Jack Widders. So there's about 6-second gap back to the 3rd position, and then a less than a second gap between 4th and 5th. Jakey Burgess not quite able to close in on the top 5 as of yet. There's still 6-second gap between him and Kevin Norman, old K-Dog, right now.
Oh, good old K-Dog getting in the battle there, as you can see. He just hanging off the back in 5th position. But Paul Mansell now is moving back through the pack after that early pit stop, where I reckon he's going to do a little bit of the undercut on that one. So I'll be very interested to see how he comes up, because he is closing the gap on Jamarcus down to 3.5 seconds, and I'm sure Jamarcus isn't going to hold out a hard charging P. Mansell, the old the cruiser man, Paul Cruiser Mansell. As he gets around. Blake Warboy still leading us out. We're checking with our leaders at the moment, and nothing really happening here. We have been monitoring it in the background here, and just holding out Jack Widders, and they've still got to do a pit stop. They will not make it home. I reckon anywhere from about 30 minutes or less, we will start to see them pit, see the flash of the lights between the two, and I'm sure they would love to have a bit of banter going on in chat right now and see how they go. But watch for the undercut. Like we say last time, Jack Widders was quite quick on the pit stop, as we might be able to pull up the pit times here. So last pit stop time, it was just over 2 seconds. Let's just call it 2 seconds, 2.1. Is it? Not even 2.1. It's 2 seconds different. Now, will Jack Widders need to do that? Will he need that extra 2 seconds come this pit stop time? Or if he pits early, will he only need 1 second? Will he take the risk? I don't know. We need to watch that one out. Looks like they're just catching up to the Yingwadi entry there of Mr. Halkitis, the Kalimnos killer there, and he moves to the side and does the right thing. The leader's just giving a flash of the lights, letting know he's coming through. I'm sure he's got the relative on that will tell him that as well. Tim Gracie just out in front as well. The old Gracie bet, he's still out there in 24th position. Good to see that he could keep joining us throughout the series. And the Kiwi hasn't brought the Kiwi talent over that we're used to seeing from old SVG and the likes that have come over to supercar racing. But Tim Gracie, look, mate, it's just a number of years and you will have that. It's probably about 12 years of kart racing, and you're probably going to be up there with the best of them, and, possibly racing over in the States.
He's got the L plate on the back of it as well, so a few of them are actually running the L plate on there to let everyone know that they're just learning.
Oh, look, mate, we're letting you back into Australia now. I think you're letting us over there. We should go and do a broadcast from Gracie's place, I reckon, and we could have some betting going on, live betting. Gracie Bet, live from New Zealand, here with the NTE series. Maybe we do the E1000 over there. What do you reckon, a little holiday to Kiwiland?
Oh, surely the NTE series can get us over there.
Oh, they've got the budget. They've got the budget to get us over there, I reckon. We could do it. I mean, all we need is some good internet. How's the internet over in New Zealand? Gracie, you're going to have to let us know when you watch a replay of this. I want a personal message to find out what the internet's like over there. Probably better. It could be better than Australia, so we never know. I don't know. As you see our leaders there, Warboys still in front over Jack Widders, and we're just having a look now back to some of the others here. It looks like the 3rd position, they've all pitted. They must have pitted, because JB is in 3rd. Oh, JB, just having a look at the pits. No, he's something's happened here. We have missed this one here. JB up into 3rd. I'm just going to go back. Tim Gracie's crashed, so we've just missed that one. Luckily, we made that happen. So I'm just going to have a look here. Jake Burgess has passed. Let's have a look at a replay here and have a look up on screen. So Jake Burgess comes around for a pass. He was in position at number 6 and doing a nice job there. He's had some good moments in the series, and I'm just trying to see if everyone was in pit lane, possibly, because I can't see them out on track at the moment. I'm just trying to find out where everyone is. No, they are travelling through pits. Surely that's what that is. That's a pit stop session there from everyone else. Yeah, they've gone 3 pit stops. That's what it is. They are catching up now. They are in the pits. So that's where he's made his move there, and that's why we see JB. But remembering he took an early pit stop there with some damage. So a little bit of work there for him, and he's on a different pit stop strategy at the moment. But at the moment, he's in 3rd. Whether he can do a splash and dash and bring that home in that position, I don't know for JB. It'd be great to be able to see the fuel loads. Still the Saints followed in just behind him. But they're 16 seconds off the pace. Now, probably gives an opportunity. Paul Mansell's now in 5th. Guy Leach behind him. Mark Peck in 7th in front of K-Dog.
Great result for him.
Yeah, let's look at pit stops though. 2 pit stops there on 3. K-Dog's on 3 stops. So I think you'll find Guy Leach has come out behind Paul Mansell, got the undercut done, made sure he stayed in front there. Craig Anspach is the loser out of this one at the moment, is in that pit stop strategy, because he has dropped back quite a bit. Dropped back a number. So he's 27 seconds in the box in the pit lane. Kevin Norman was 20. Guy Leach was 20 seconds. So he has had a huge pit stop there from Craig Anspach. I don't know if he just not willing to risk it with the fuel load, maybe. That's very interesting.
What's going to be the game changer here as well, Matty, is so all those guys have all done 3. So Paul, Guy, Kevin and Craig have all done their 3 pit stops. Warboys and Widders haven't. So they're going to have to come in at some point, you'd imagine. Now, there's a 15-second lead on Jake Burgess, who's in 3rd. So, you know, are they best to try and get in now and get a splash and dash run and done? Or, you know, how are they going to do this? Because Guy Leach and Paul Mansell will be stalking them, you know, and that could change up the entire lead. So they're going to have to get in and get out as quickly as they can.
And interestingly enough, then we just saw Paul Mansell lock the brakes up. The number 5 is actually behind Guy Leach now. So these 2 on track. Guy Leach is actually leading this one. Have a little battle pack here for you. So Paul Mansell actually grabbed a heap of curve on turn number 1. Now, I don't know whether he just got out of the way knowing Guy Leach was behind him and said, look, I'm not going to fight you because I've actually slowed right down. Whether this might be some team orders here, because Guy Leach has an opportunity to beat Jack Widders if they can make that happen.
Yep.
If these 2 can get in front due to strategy over Warboys and Widders, there's a potential for Guy Leach to take out this championship. There's just over 26 minutes left. It's a possibility. It's a long shot, but it's a possibility if they can make the undercut done on the pit stop strategy here. Because like you say, Warboys and Widders are 16 seconds in front, which really... Oh, sorry, actually they're a lot further in front. They're probably, what are we talking, 49... Let's just say 50 seconds in front. So they're 50 seconds in front. What I'm seeing in transit time is all in the 50s. And that's with a 20-second stop. And there's still 54 seconds in the lane and things like that. So Paul Mansell takes that back, though. I don't think there is any team orders. every man for himself. But say
every man for themselves, for sure.
Yeah, every Mansell for himself. But I'm sure they need to... Like, their 50 seconds is not going to be enough transit time unless their time in the box is 12 or 13 seconds. There's still an opportunity. They're going to have to drop a fair bit of time. They're going to have to do a real splash and dash and take a risk, I think. The undercut is a good strategy here from Paul Mansell, Guy Leach, K-Dog and Craig Anspach. Anspach, though, I think, sat in the lane for too long. Whether he needed to, we don't know what fuel he's got on board as Mark Peck moves back to P11. But it looks like he may be in the pit lane. I'm just trying to see if he's taken a pit. He has taken his 3rd pit, so he's coming out in 12th at the moment. So not too bad from Jamarcus. Got to talk him up. He's a great sponsor of the series from Peggy's Performance and Dyno Tune. But Jake Burgess there sitting in the middle now. Will JB have to do a splash and dash with the boys? This is the question now. Is JB going to be in that same predicament where he needs to take it? Another lap, though. They're going to enter into this one from Warboys and, of course, Jack Widders. They will go another lap without going in the pits. Now, in saying that, we are down to, well, what are we on? We're on lap number 49, so 48 laps completed. I said 42-ish minutes, and we're an hour and 8 minutes, so you think, what's that going to put us out to? 28 minutes, about that, or we had a safety car. I would say these 2 in the lead can't go, I don't want to say, I do want to say it, I reckon we won't see him go to 20 minutes left. It'll be this lap or next lap they'll come into pit.
Yeah, I think he'd be spot on there. That they would have to be getting in very soon there. And like I suppose the big thing that they'd be looking out for as well is that the likes of Paul Mansell and Guy Leach aren't gaining too much ground on them in the meantime as well. So they'd want to get it run and done as soon as they possibly could, just to make sure that they're not giving any further advantages to the guys.
Look, I'm just checking out all our messages here on our stream chat, and the best news has just come back from Teagues. The best news possible.
Okay.
Gracie Bet said we can stream live from his place. So JB, no pressure. Shannons Insurance, no pressure. Look, it's just going to take 2 commentators, a computer, 6 monitors, or 2 computers, 6 monitors, all shipped over to New Zealand for probably 3 or 4 days for us to broadcast from Gracie's place, mate.
It's not that big a deal.
Look, I'm telling you,
it's
mate.
quite easy to do.
It can be in the budget. That's what I'm saying. It's, can't cost that much, can it?
Not even.
Not even Stephen. I reckon we can make that happen. That's what I'm just saying. I reckon we can make that happen over to Kiwi Land and hang out with Gracie Bet, and we'll get some good odds over that one. Do you reckon the odds will be good on that happening? You reckon?
Oh,
I hope Rob's watching. Can Rob comment? Do you reckon Shannons can get us over there? Good exposure over in New Zealand for you?
Surely, there's probably some stuff they want us to look at over there. As you just see the race leaders go on by Jamarcus, Mark Peck. There goes a lap down in behind them, so they're up to about 13th position there.
Yeah, in lap traffic, yeah. So you just see Jack Widders goes a little bit wide in that corner, and just a bit of a reprieve there for Jake Warboys. And how is Tim Gracie messaging us when that's him on track?
Well, do you think that's do you think maybe that's where he crashed before?
He's on the Gold Coast. He's on the Gold Coast, so it's cheaper. He's got to have he's got to have voice recognition, or he's got someone typing for him. I can tell you that. Currently racing from New Zealand. I'm on the Gold Coast, so cheaper. Yeah, we'll come to the Gold Coast. Goldie's fine for us. That's halfway between where you are and where I am, I reckon.
Absolutely, that's easy.
Down the Goldie, and look, your beer bill might go up, Gracie. I'm telling you. You want to make some money on those odds? Look, we'll give you some odds on your beer fridge. Empty. Pretty good odds, especially when you invite Tommy Orton down.
Absolutely.
Just have a look as we head through the battles there. Paul Mansell still holding out his teammate Guy Leach as these two at the front. They come around, and I'm just waiting to see. Well, actually, I might go back to our leaders because I'm just waiting to see if they come into the pits. Oh, look, I said before 20-minute mark. They're in. Let's check this out. The leaders, what's going to happen? Will Mansell get the jump on them? We know Burgess will go past unless Burgess has to get in the pits as well, because Jake Burgess can't be too far off needing a pit stop either. Oh, lock up on the brakes. Did he go too far? They both got a reverse. Wow, that's going to, isn't it? That's going to hurt them with the Mansell and Leach scenario.
Yeah, that's definitely time that they just do not need.
Let's have a look at JB and see where he is, because I want to know. Jake Burgess is in the pits as well, so JB's had to come in now. He's got a splash and dash. He would have known that earlier though, especially with that starting incident there. We had to come and grab some repairs. Now where's Jack Widders? He's gone, is he? Jack Widders is out. Splash and dash, take the risk. Big difference this time.
Yeah, wow, that
huge
is
difference.
A huge change.
Now, where is Mansell is my question. Where is Paul Mansell in all this? Go back to Paul Mansell. Now, they are coming around pit exit, so they are not going to grab Warboys either. But look at him, just out in front. So they can see him. They're on warm tyres. Warboys, though, it obviously has fresh tyres on. They would have taken tyres for sure, but he's going to have to get them to temperature. Mansell and Leach are on a flying run. They need to work the tyres super hard and watch out for old K-Dog in the background. You can just see him coming around the flat-out kart entry, but Mansell and Leach now need to push on. They can see the tail lights of the leaders, Warboys. Widders out in front of him. Let's have a look at this one now. Widders, he's got a fair bit of a lead here at the moment there. You see 5 seconds. Let's have a look at the pit time. I have to look at this. We have to look at the pit time on these two. Wow. 6.5 seconds. That's incredible.
Warboys has been fairly consistent too, so I wonder whether he's actually changing his fuel load around or whether he's just leaving it at the full contingent the whole time. Maybe that might be the key difference there.
Could be.
Paul Mansell's 23 seconds, so pretty similar there for Mansell as well.
Is that Tim Grace in the background of the wall?
I think so. I think he's probably messaging
you
now.
He's just sending a message.
He's organising flights.
Mate, get off the Qantas website until you finish racing. That's what I'm saying. Look, Gracie Bet sponsoring us to fly all over the world. But we better get Gracie Bet up and running. I think we want to make this happen. Yes, and yeah, good to see him. Obviously over in New Zealand, in racing from New Zealand, but based on the Gold Coast from what we see. But flying the Kiwi flag on the front of the cars. Jack Widders leading this race, and another car rejoining me in the background. Now, I'm going to bring the 4-car battle up here, and we'll have a little bit of a look at this one, thanks to Roadrunner. Blake Warboys is in the middle there, and unfortunately didn't start the season with, so we don't grab up for him. Then it's Paul Mansell, and sort of spread out. So the battle really is Paul Mansell and Guy Leach for that third position. They need to watch out for that one. They don't want to get caught in a battle between the two teammates. But the question is, how close are they going to get? Warboys has come out, and it doesn't look like they're making too much of a dent on that time between Paul Mansell and Warboys either. So the 5-second gap there is still remaining. I'm just watching the gap though, as it's sort of Jack Widders leading us out with that lighter fuel load there. Different sections of the track, you'll see that close up and extend out once again. But Paul Mansell and Guy Leach definitely good to do the undercut there. And JB's come back out in 8th position, Jake Burgess. So Craig Anspach behind K-Dog at the moment. Probably the person who can make a change before the end is Mr. Anspach here. Whether he can get the job done over K-Dog. Try and catch him up in 6th position at the moment, but he took that a lot longer pit stop than he did when he came in with the other races there a bit earlier with Guy Leach and Paul Mansell. He stayed in for an additional 6.5 seconds there just to take on fuel in the box. So that really put him down in a little bit of traffic as well, and now he's got to contend with Kevin Norman there in the flat-out karts entry. So back in P6, but I'm sure this will turn into a nice little battle. There's only 17.5 minutes remaining in this 2-hour race here. The final round of the NTE Series, all thanks to Shannons Insurance, and what a race it's been. Probably record amount of lead changes, I would say, for this series has happened in this race. It's been mainly two people, Jack Widders and Blake Warboys, but there's been a few other people. Clay Richards had the lead there for a little bit of time. As we check out some of the battles going on further down in the pack. This is the one we're watching at the moment, though. It's for number 6, or P5. Craig Anspach now right up on the back of K-Dog. Snapping at the heels. K-Dog goes out wide. What's going on, mate? He's on a leash. He's been pulled back. Anspach goes by. Well, Anspach...
Yeah, just didn't see Anspach making another dash and starting to move forwards there. It's... yeah, good to see, because as we said before, he really lost out from sort of the last pit stop that he had done and dropped way back. So yeah, he's managing to claw back at it. So him and Kevin Norman are 5 seconds behind Guy Leach though. So going to be a bit of work there to be able to close the gap and try and make a dash for the top 3 positionings. As we still see Jack Widders 5 seconds ahead of Blake Warboys and Paul Mansell a further 5 seconds. So this lead is probably the most stretched out we've seen it, Matty's, in the entire race. And it's all really come down to that final pit stop and strategy by Jack Widders and Blake Warboys.
I'm just trying to put some numbers in here at the moment if these guys finish in the positions they are at the moment. So doing some on-the-run sums, which is always interesting, isn't it? For me, absolutely. You know, I've got to make this happen though. So I'm just having a look, because take Blake Warboys out of the championship equation, not take him out of the race equation, but the championship equation, and it changes things up a little bit for us at the moment. So Paul Mansell just holding out over his teammate. So if we stay the way we are, Jack Widders gets the win. He goes up to 684 points. This is predictions, bar, post-race penalties, anything the race control come out with, which we can't confirm at this point. Paul Mansell comes in third place. Yeah, he's currently sitting in 3rd place. He will come in on 576 points, so he won't increase. Guy Leach, though, being behind him, will get 120 points for 4th. He will be 639. So effectively, it means Jack Widders will win, Guy Leach will stay in 2nd, and Paul Mansell will finish the championship 3rd. Jake Burgess will not be close enough to close that gap up. So at the moment, that's exactly where they sit in the championship, and that's exactly where they'll finish if they remain in these positions. Unless something happens to Guy Leach, Paul Mansell's not catching it. Guy Leach would have to have something dramatic happen. I don't want to put the camera on him, I'm just too scared. But we've got Guy Leach, the injectors online interest, dropping back a bit off Paul Mansell at the moment. So we'll see what happens there. Now we've completed, we're on lap 54, so 53 laps completed there. As we see Blake Warboys there in position number 2 with his teammate behind. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to get the job done there. He's lap traffic in the background there, but Jack Widders there is still leading us by 5 seconds out in front, with Warboys caught in a little bit of traffic, and it was just a massive 6-second difference in the pit stop. Now, I would love to see the fuel levels, because can Jack Whittis maintain this pace? I'm actually thinking we might just get in the cockpit and just see if potentially we can see him fuel saving. Because did he take the splash and dash to get out in front and get that mental game there and then be able to be a little bit defensive? He's holding on though. He's got the foot down and just trying to see if we grab a bit of clutch. He's still pushing fairly hard at this point, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely, and it's the challenge, right? Being out in front is that, you know, he's going to have to keep pushing and making sure that he's got that advantage and the gap between himself and the second spot. And yeah, so fuel saving's a bit of a challenge, you know. I mean, of course he can keep an eye on his relatives and sort of manage it that way, but yeah, it's always challenging being the leader, and always good for someone like Warboys being in second, because you can do the chase.
You could still make a mistake though, and this is the thing. We need to remember that mistake. Whoa, a little bit of overcorrection there. I think the tyre's starting to go off a little bit, and we do know with the new build of these cars in iRacing that there was a fair bit of tyre degradation come, and they've been pushing super hard in this one. But Jack Whittis and Black Warboys waited till the final moment. There were 21 minutes left in this race. Then they made their pit stop. So they have the freshest tyres out of the lead 5. So you think that would be an advantage leading into the final parts of this race. But it's still out in front, Jack Whittis, and looks like he's going to get another win. But he did start out of P4, so he was out of P3. So he didn't start on the front row. He's had to do the work. Blake Warboys just a little bit further back at the moment there, and you can see that is still out at 6.5 seconds now. So maybe Jack Whittis actually stuck behind Blake Warboys and did a lot of fuel saving early on, just sitting under that rear wing, because it's the only way, surely, he could take 6 seconds less fuel coming into that final pit stop. Is my thoughts there, as Paul Mansell now opens up a little bit of a gap on his teammate Guy Leach. That's blown out to 1.1 seconds. Craig Ansbach now has made it. He got past K-Dog. We saw that a little bit earlier there. And Kevin Norman just a little bit further back. This is probably the closest battle as we move. And Dylan Saith in 7th position at the moment. Another one running the NTESERIES. And mate, he's been a fantastic racer in this series as well. And, you know, a young gun. We seem to come out last year in the 2020 series, probably run further towards the back of the pack, had impressive moments. This season, a bit more consistency, apart from the last round where, you know, unfortunately though, what do you do when you have incidents and you move back? One person who's missing tonight is Ryan Robson. I am really disappointed not to see Ryan here. Maybe he's in trouble with mum. That's all I'm saying. Maybe she's taken away his account. Oh, the big Kiwi lock-up in the background. Tim Gracie from Gracie Bet. Oh, he's worn out his front left. That's gone. It's down to the wear marks. Well, I told you it's gone. He's on the grass. He's sideways. He's entertaining, Gracie Bet. We're entertaining. JB back in 8th position. He's still going.
He's still texting you. He's still texting you. That's what the problem is.
Don't text and drive. Don't text and sim race. That's the problem. Told you, mate. We'll have to get the safety car out onto you. Where's the virtual police? Where's the virtual camera? Maybe that's how we can do that. We can have a virtual camera and we can start taking some money off these people.
Absolutely. The gap's really opening up between 2nd and 3rd position right now. I'm just having a look at the relatives there, and yeah, Warboys 10 seconds ahead of Mansell. That was about a 5-second gap a lap or so ago, and you know, it's really opened up. And Mansell's, you know, not really looking like he's going to be much of a challenge for the lead, but we did see this time and time again with the front 2 cars really stretching out ahead of the next battle pack. But yeah, Mansell dropping off massively. 10 seconds difference there, and Guy Leach another second behind of Mansell there. So yeah, I don't think we'll see too much of a change for the podium.
And look, looking at the points score there, if Guy Leach and Paul Mansell now, this has got down to half a second, and they're coming into some traffic, which will affect some things here. That's like Simon Farrington there, Blake Warboys, well, you know, what do we call it, a teammate there, and they've got the same liveries on, so unfortunately he's just a back marker there for these guys. But if Guy Leach gets over Paul Mansell on this one, that shouldn't affect the 2nd or 3rd. Guy Leach will still come 2nd, Paul Mansell will still come 3rd. Jake Burge didn't catch him. Kevin Norman not going to do enough to catch him. They are quite a bit back there, and looks like they're not going to really challenge him to take the win in this race unless something dramatic happens, which never say never. We are under 10 minutes to go in this race, though. 10 minutes left in this Shannons Insurance NTE Series round number 5, the final round here from Daytona International Speedway. It's come down to this. 9 minutes remaining. Jack Whittis now has himself a nice little lead there. It is out to 5.7 seconds, and that is all down to the final pit stop. Paul Mansell, after a shocking start there where the car just went absolutely nowhere, has now worked his way back into the third position. Guy Leach, his teammate behind him in the Injectors Online entry. Craig Anspach and the Tanked SRT team. We haven't seen him since round 1. Well, he's up into 5th position now and starting out of position 4. So another fantastic result for him. What a shame we didn't see him throughout the season, because he probably could have split Guy Leach, Paul Mansell, Jake Burgess and Kevin Norman. He would have been somewhere in that mix, I would believe, in the championship. K-Dog, Kevin Norman there in 6th position at the moment, just outside 5th in the championship at the moment. And look, he really needed to have a win in this one to maybe push himself up into some podium contention when it came to the championship there. Old JB hasn't been his night, but Dylan Sapes in 7th is a nice run from him. So he's got to be happy with that one. With the Commodore Records winner there, Jack Whittis. Look, he just needs to bring this one home, and he secured himself a championship win. He only has to be in P2. It does not matter where the cards fall for the rest of them. As long as he comes home P2 or above, he will take out the 2021 Shannons Insurance NTE Series. And at the moment, he doesn't need to stress too much. He can probably lose himself about half a second to a second a lap and still bring this home. As you can see, a little bit of squiggle there under brakes if he tries to accelerate out of the corner. But just needs to watch out for these back markers there as he goes past and try not to make those mistakes. He can afford to be a little bit slower each lap. He's still pulling 1:45.90. Blake Warboy's pushing hard with 1:45.5 on the last lap. But a lot slower off the pace as they've gone through this. And, like you say, Tegan, just how much energy it consumes to stay in the sim for 2 hours straight.
Yeah, 100%. The fatigue levels would have to be starting to come in here. And especially if they've done any testing and tuning today, leading into this one, it's definitely going to be starting to play on them being the 2 hours. But probably a good bit of setup here for if we do go down the track of going with another E1000. The guys will be well and truly ready for it with a 2 hour stint here straight up. So yeah, no co-drivers, no anything. They're 2 hours straight up, and yeah, they've done a fantastic job here. And it's interesting to see the strategies that have come out here and the way that they've run the race. It's been quite exciting to watch. And as we said, I would hazard a guess that this race has had the most amount of lead changes that we've ever seen in the series, even for last year. So quite an exciting track, and a lot's happened. And we've seen some fantastic racing happen throughout the entire race here at Daytona International Speedway. And yeah, the top 10 are looking pretty interesting here. Jamarcus still holding out that final 10 position in behind Rossi Johnson, so he's going to be stoked with himself being there with 6 minutes remaining.
Oh, he goes past Tim Gracie. Look at the concentration on Jamarcus. All he's singing is, please don't let my flip-out socks slip with the sweat that's perspiring down my legs. Don't make it. Your mum's going to walk out and whack him in the back of the head, I reckon. That'll be the final part.
That'll be an emotional conversation if that happens. He'll be very, very upset if that goes on. But no, he's done a fantastic job, and he's had an immense improvement since the last series that he was involved in. So it's fantastic to see as Timmy Gracie just goes off the track a little bit again there. So maybe getting on to the next text message.
Can we put a constellation to get can we get all the videos of Gracie going off track? Put it to some music, I reckon.
Absolutely.
Dun, dun, dun,
You'd love it.
Dun, 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 crash. No.
Tyrone Anderson's dropped off in a massive way. I was just having a look. He's in 23rd position, just pulling into the pits. And yeah, very unfortunate for him because he was looking like a strong contender through the early stages of this series. So unfortunate for Tyrone not being up the pointy end where he probably would have wanted to be, and will really affect the overall result for him for the entire series.
Yeah, so Shane Newen's lost a graphic card. He messaged us in and said, mate, lost my graphic card. Should have hit the bullet and replaced that earlier. Look, just go around to Mark's place. I mean, he's into buying new sim gear. Just tell him he needs a new graphics card and take his old one. That's what I'm thinking. If he gets a top 10 finish, imagine what he's going to upgrade this week. That's all I'm saying.
It would be unreal, the prize money that he'll use.
Peter B's out. Sam Dicker, he pinched the front left, I think he said, and unfortunately there, a bit of damage and got caught in some race incidents, and he is out as well. So Sam Dicker pulled out of this one. Tyrone Anderson's out, but that's because Great Northerns were calling, I'd say. Dan Kerr's another one who was super impressive throughout the season. So that's a bit of a shame that Dan Kerr hasn't made it home. It looks like he's out of this one there with Tim Grace is catching up to him because he had a few more there. Timmy Nicol, let's have a look now. Tim Nicol Photography, great sponsor of the series. 4 minutes left. Everything's spaced out. The only battle going on is Paul Mansell and Guy Leach at the moment. But Tim Nicol, who's been, a great supporter of the series, Tim Nicol Photography. He puts out everything online afterwards, takes photos of all the race. He does it for a few series, but back on board for the NTE series. Helped out in the initial part too. He did some filming and put some clips together, the highlights packages and stuff like that. So big shout out to Timmy Nicol, back in position 20 at the moment. He's 20th in the championship, ironically. I'm not quite sure where he'll end up. I'm not going to put that many points down into the spreadsheet to see where we're at, but we need to thank Timmy Nicol. He's a great supporter. PBE projects on the side of the car for him, which they were last year as well. So, but he's out there having a bit of fun in the number 23 once again. You can see all the bugs over the front of the car. So, yeah, big shout out to Timmy Nicol. Timmy Driscoll, who came in a bit later in the race, the gas man, Darwin's gas man, but he's out there getting some laps in as well. But unfortunately only joined us in the back half of the race. And Clay Richards, look, shout out to the Richards family. Clay getting on board and putting Shannons Insurance down the sign, the Penrite signs, and being part of it. We spoke to him earlier in the series and looked like he was having a bit of fun. And we wish him all the best in his on-track racing career as well, because he does a fantastic job now. Daniel Norris, the West Aussie, I notice he jumps on a Wednesday night or so on with the boys, and it's still 3 o'clock in the afternoon over there in Perth, while it's about 8 o'clock everywhere else in the world. But it's good to see the West Off roof restorations on board, of course. And it sounds like he's neglected his work a lot to get into sim racing. Because every time he talks about it, he's getting his boys working so he can go back to the sim. Sounds much like your father. Sounds like
absolutely.
I wonder if he's got flip-out socks.
That's great to hear. That's dedication, really.
You know what's going to be, the talk's going to be? Jamarcus going to tell Dan, he's going to say, Dan, get flip-out socks.
Get flip-out socks is the only way to go.
That'll get you a top 10 finish, I'm telling you. Michael Gore in the McGee's entry, another one who's been through with us throughout the season, in 12th in the championship. So, sort of probably unsuspecting there, but you can't deny 12th out of 48 cars. I think we've actually had more entries now, and I will confirm that I've got 59 different entries in the series this season. So for him to be up there in 12th is really good, actually, for Michael Gore. Michael Alkitis in 11th at the moment, 10th in the championship. We'll see where he ends up. Jamarcus in 10th. It's all happening. But let's get back to our leaders. And, of course, Jack Whittis still leading us out here, and he's got a nice little gap. It's down to 2 seconds. What's he doing? Is he coming in the pit lane? He's out of fuel. Is he out of fuel? Oh, no, he took a risk, 6.5 seconds. Warboys has gone past. This is big. This is huge when it comes to championship. Warboys now back in the lead, and with only 1 minute left, they are not going to come around and complete another lap. I'm going to guess that this is going to be the final lap, and Jack Whittis has had to come in. Paul Mansell in second now. I'm going to have to redo all my sums here, Tegan. I'm going to have to let you talk us through a bit of this, because this will change exactly what's going to happen in the championship run.
Yeah, wow. He would have been sitting there watching his fuel load the whole way through. And he would have known just where he was sitting with that. And, yeah, far out. He's obviously done a splash and dash here to get himself back out in 5th position. So Kevin Norman, 11 seconds behind. So he's lucky not to drop off another position there. But, yeah, wow, that just changes everything there with Warboys going to the lead now. And Paul Mansell and Guy Leach in 2nd and 3rd. I mean, yeah, Jack Whittis obviously just a little bit too little of fuel thrown on board on that final pit stop, and has really hurt him in these late stages as the time runs out on the clock, which means Jack Whittis is going to finish back in about 5th position. Depending on whether he can move forwards, there's a second gap in between him and Craig Anspatch. He'll be pushing hard here, trying to move forwards. There's your race leader on his final rotation of this one. Checkers at the ready. Blake Warboys has done fantastic here with Paul Mansell still 12 seconds behind, so he can cruise. He's on the back of one of the back markers there. and is not going to have to push it too hard. How are you travelling there, Matty?
I'm telling you now,
through your
if they stay here, if Jack Widders does not get a position, Guy Leach can win this. He will win by 3 points. It's all down. Can he make it? Can Guy Leach? Will Paul Mansell let him by and just make it clinch this? Because if Paul Mansell lets him by and we see, obviously, even if we see him make a position, Jack Widders, that's where it's going to be. It looks like we have finished the race there. We've got the checker there. Paul Mansell's coming around for this one. So our first place banner here goes through and gets the win. It looks like Guy Leach there in... Oh, no, Paul Mansell, has he gone off? Something's happened there. Maybe my screen is not caught up there. Jack Widders going to bring us home in 5th position there. It's taken a bit of time for my screen to update. So much going on here. The data is going through, but Jack Widders back to 5th position, and possibly that has cost him the race. That could have cost him the race. JB trying to come home in 8th position at the moment. Here we go. He crosses the finish line. Now it's going to catch up to us. Rossi Johnson there back in 9th position. So how is that? Blake Warboys comes home. 2nd, Paul Mansell. Guy Leach in 3rd. I'm going to check my numbers here. I'm just going to start bringing these home. But Rossi Johnson there looks like he's going to come home in 9th position. Mark Peck. Can he hold on to the 10? He's looking for it. The 10th position from Mark Peck. Can he make it happen? Rossi Johnson's coming around. Just looking for the checkered flag. A few have crossed over being lap cars, so it's only going to come down to these last few. Rossi Johnson goes by. Looks like he's got it. Mark Peck. Does he get a top 10 for the first time? The Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tune entry. Oh, the socks will be off now. Wow, Mark Peck with the top 10. Michael Haukitis not too far behind to bring home 11. Dan Norris in 12th position now as Michael Haukitis looks like he has secured that position there.
I just caught the tail end of something on my other screen here, Matty, and looks like Jake Burgess just come up behind Kevin Norman after the race is all done and given him a fair nudge. Kevin's car's now completely written off.
Oh, the old K-Dog. He's giving it to K-Dog. Oh, look at that. Michael Gore's going to come home in 13th. I'm just trying to see if we'll change over. They have finished this race. They're happy with this one. Let's go back to our winner, though. Oh, there it is. Our winner, Blake Warboys, up on screen, doing the sums. And this is not the final. I don't want to say this is the final because we're waiting on race control here. We have to confirm this with race control. But tentatively, in the championship, Guy Leach comes home 3rd with 129 points. I'm looking up my screen. Jack Widders 5th on 111 means Guy Leach wins this championship by 3 points after Jack Widders doesn't take enough fuel and has to come in for a splash and dash. What a way to finish this race. What an absolutely fantastic race finish. It is all over. The race is run and done. Our winners come around. Blake Warboys first, Paul Mansell second, and 3rd, Guy Leach is how we believe it is. Waiting for race control to confirm this, but it looks like that is run and done between these 3. And wow, that is a huge effort from these guys to get themselves around. Blake Warboys, we're going to have to head over to our Discord channel and see if we can drag these guys in because we know they're going to be waiting to talk to us. I would like to grab Guy Leach. Should we talk to Guy Leach 3rd because this is going to be a big moment for him. Guy Leach, maybe if we can grab Jack Widders very quickly. Look, the celebration. Tim Gracie's in on this one. There's not much of his car left, but he is in on this one. I'm not quite sure where the boys are gone because we did want them to line up. We normally get the fireworks around the back end of this track, but that's where it is. Blake Warboys takes your win. Paul Mansell as we bring up the podium here. Let's have a look at the podium here for your Shannons Insurance NTE Series round number 5 here from Daytona International Speedway. I'm waiting. There we are, and that's where it is. Blake Warboys started out of P1, managed to finish that home. Guy Leach started out Paul Mansell started out of 5th, and after that huge incident there on the start, he has managed to get that home and get a 2nd position and get on the podium, and Guy Leach in 3rd position. Just waiting to see. We've got him in our whole channel to bring him in. I'm just going to bring him in. We've got to find them because they've all got different names when it comes down the bottom here, and half of them aren't in here. Mr. Mansell's in here. We can have a chat with him, but I'd like to speak to Blake Warboys if we could, if he's in the Discord channel. If you're listening to us, mate, jump into the Discord channel because we definitely want to talk to you. We need to talk to Mr. Mansell's teammate, and I would love to talk to a Jack Widders because it would be interesting to have a chat with him about everything that just went on there. And Mr. Warboys is in here, so I am going to actually move him into our channel and see if we can. We're going to have to unmute him, I reckon, but let's grab him. Blake Warboys, you're in the commentators chat, mate. We've got you live on air. Look, mate, how was that for a win? And did you expect Jack Widders to be pulling in on the last lap? He's speechless. Blake, mate, we'll let you catch. Just start talking to us when you come on board, mate. But we've got you in the commentators chat live on air, so I do believe it might be a push to talk on there. I have made sure you've unmuted there. But our winner, Blake Warboys, not in our championship running, only joined us for the last 2 rounds of the Shannons Insurance NTE series. So only with us for the last couple of rounds, unfortunately. So not going to contend that, but, got on the podium last week. It was a fantastic result for him. Comes back. So last week he got 3rd place. Comes back, takes the win tonight with Jack Widders coming in on the final lap for a dash of fuel. Didn't have enough. Blake Warboys, I think you've, I don't know if you muted yourself. No, you've muted yourself. That's all right. We've unmuted you. You can talk to us when you're ready. Who else have we got sitting here? We know our holding channel there. I would love to have a chat with a couple of these guys there to finish off our what is going to be a fantastic end. What we might do is bring Paul Mansell in. Let's move him in. Let's move P Man in there. P Mansell, are you with us? Let's look. We're going to let you talk. I'm going to unmute you. I know it's not smart to do this, but Mr. Mansell. Wow, what happened at the start of the race? Just, look, give us your excuses now.
It's a minor detail. You've got to put the car in gear.
Yeah, well, I did say on the live stream, I said, look, this is either a sim failure or you were drinking a vodka cruiser and just got sidetracked.
No, just couldn't believe I had the clutch in, wasn't in gear, and released the clutch and no forward motion. So, yeah, stupid. But anyway, I dodged a bullet.
A big bullet there. And how do you get back in fuel? Where does the fuel strategy go after that? I mean, that early pit stop there for some fast repairs, is it sort of just on the fly, or you've got a bit of a backup plan just in case this stuff happens?
No, it's just seriously flat out, mate. You just want to try and, just go your hardest. I was just in damage control mode, as you can imagine. So no, I went in the pits. I drove all around, went in the pits and put a fair bit of fuel in it, obviously, and just try to get back on the same strategy as everyone else, which took probably obviously until the second pit stop. So
do you have any understanding the difference, and I'm talking the minor difference, between you maybe letting your teammate Guy Leach pass you in that final lap and not letting him pass you? Do you understand the championship implications there?
To be fair, I knew we were second and third in the championship, but I didn't know the difference between him and Jack. So we should have, obviously, because it was in my mind in the last couple of laps to let him go. But
look, I'm going to let you. I know you took a big deep breath there. I'm going to let you off the hook here, because Jack Widders took fuel on that final lap. He didn't have enough to get home. Yeah, he went back to position 5. By you taking P2 has not altered the difference in the championship. It has not altered it, but it is 3 points in it.
Wow.
So we're gonna let you just stew on that until we tell you who has unofficially won, until we get race control verdict, but who has unofficially won. But yeah, look, mate, congratulations, second place tonight. It's on the podium. What a drive to get back in it.
Yeah, well, I was really surprised, to be honest. But I mean, you just got to try and use up the drafts and work on your fuel and work on looking after your tyres, because the tyres just go off, and if you keep spinning them up, like coming onto the straight and that, you just they don't come back very well. So yeah, it was a lot of managing, but keeping the pace up, and obviously the safety cars help out a lot. So, but yeah, I was pretty stoked. I was last at one stage, obviously, so to come up to second, I mean, unfortunately what happened to Jack, sorry, you don't want to see that, but that's how racing goes. We managed it, and unfortunately he made an error, but which really surprised us, don't get me wrong, and yeah, but no, good win by Blake. Drove really, really well, too fast for us, so we just had to manage our race. So good fun though, good battles, awesome,
mate. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You're not the champ this year, but
that's all right.
But unofficially, I've got my numbers together, and you still get third in the series this year. So you're still on the podium. Look, cool. 2 years in a row on the podium. And look, how much pressure do you want to put on Jake for an E1000 again this year? We've just been putting a bit of pressure on him during the live stream. We've had 2 hours of free time, me and Teagues.
I think he needs a Hawaiian holiday to get over this one first, but We'll see. We'll see. I mean, he does a great job. Obviously, there's a lot of work and a lot of stress, and there's a lot of different uh, people to deal with. Obviously, so yeah, it's not easy. So, but no, it was a good series. I was really stoked. It's good to have Jack in here with keeping us honest, and he drove a really good championship, obviously, and did really well. So I'm just glad it came down pretty tight in the end. That was that was awesome.
We're going to leave you hanging, mate, and I'm going to kick you out of here, and we're going to see if Blake's on board.
Roger.
Look, thanks for another season, mate, and congratulations.
Cheers. No worries. Thanks. Thanks to Jake, and thanks to all the sponsors, and thanks to you guys. It's not the same if we don't have broadcasts. So well done to you guys as well.
Look, mate. Look, me and Tees can't wait to catch up and have a cruiser with you. So that's going to happen.
Well, your shout.
Yeah, that's all right. It can be our shout. We've got the budget. Shannons Insurance NTE series. It's coming off our expenses.
Sounds good. All right, boys. Well done. Thank you.
Oh, we'll get him out of there. Blake, are you there? We've got you in our channel. Yeah. Oh, there we go. We got you, mate.
Yeah.
Look,
I think I got it working now.
We can hear you. So that's a fantastic start. Look, mate, you've obviously put your name down on the waiting list. You get in. I could only imagine what it would have been if we'd had you throughout the whole series. But, fantastic racing tonight. And, I mean, what goes through your mind when you see Jack pull into pit lane in front of you on the final lap?
Well, to be honest, I couldn't believe it. Like, I did a practice race during the week and, ran out of fuel on the last lap. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll add an extra lap of fuel just to be on the safe side, and honestly thought, oh, I've put too much in. And then when I saw him come into the pits, I'm like, oh, so maybe I have got this right.
Look, it was 6.5 seconds was the difference in the last pit stop. And Jack's already messaged us on the live stream. He said, gutted, I was 1 litre out. Stupid fuel calculator. So 1 litre out. Look, you would have got second anyway. Look, fantastic race. You seem to have the pace there, and qualifying was amazing from you because Jack Widders has dominated qualifying throughout the series, and you were 2/10 over the top of him. So, mate, look, big kudos to you and your team, and hopefully we'll get your entries in a bit earlier next time. We'll see you in the starting 44.
Yeah, for sure. Like, our team is just growing. It's becoming a really good team. We've got a lot of fast blokes in our team now, and we're starting to learn a lot more about strategy and what we need to do with the cars. So, yeah, we'll definitely be getting our entries in to have a full-on crack for the next season. It's been a real pleasure racing with everyone. It's been great racing.
Look, I'll let you shout out to your sponsors, mate, who you need to thank.
Well, first of all, to the team, WKMP Sim Sports, awesome guys to race with. LG Karts Australia, Wodonga Karts and Parts, Kinetic Industries, and then also to the series sponsors for coming on board, like Shannons. Obviously wouldn't have a series without them, and to you guys for the commentary. It's great. No
worries, mate. Well, we're going to let you go. Congratulations. Yeah, look, stay tuned to NTE series because we're already putting the pressure on Jakey for an E1000. If you got a team, that means, dual drivers. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, well, my housemate was trying to get in, so we'll see how we go. Well, if there's a 1000, me and him will be doing it for sure.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the win, mate. We'll let you go.
Thanks, mate.
So yeah, we'll move you back into there, and we're going to grab Leachy now because this is the one that we really want to have a chat with. Leachy, we got you in. I'm going to try and unmute you because that's what we do. We don't want you talking too quickly. Guy Leach, we've got you in the commentators chat. You're on the podium again tonight in third position. It's been an up and down series. This is your fourth podium. And have you had a chance to go through the championship points and think of where you finished?
Got no idea, to be honest. Paul said to me that was quite close, but I think I still finished second. So pretty happy with that.
Well, I did ask if there was team orders and had you guys done the count back because I'm going to tell you now there's 3 points between you and Jack Widders in the final tally, in my unofficial tally, which will come down to make sure race control has nothing to say about it. I thought maybe Paul Manson might let you have second just to confirm some things, but I have to say, congratulations on the third place tonight. But most of all, congratulations on getting the series for 2021, all thanks to Shannons Insurance, by 3 points tonight.
Hey.
So you have got the win. You're the series champion for 2021. Last year was your teammate, the Injectors Online entry, Paul Mansell. This year you get it, 2021, all thanks to Shannons Insurance. Mate, how do you feel?
I'm very surprised. Thanks, guys. I must thank Paul because I didn't take enough fuel, so he had to wait for me and tow me home. I ran out of fuel coming out of last turn.
Oh, really? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Because Jack Whittis actually in the final lap, he's missed his calculation by 1 litre. So he actually had to pit stop on the last lap, which has cost him the series.
Yeah, well, I would have been in the same boat. If Paul hadn't come back and picked me up, I wouldn't have made it either. So there you go.
Well, sounds like you owe Paul a cruiser now, because we know he likes to get into those pink cruisers.
He does indeed. He does.
Look, mate, who do you need to thank? It's been a big series, 4 podiums. Look, can't deny it's been a championship run.
I'd like to thank Shannons and all the series sponsors, all of my sponsors, Injectors Online, Paul Mansell for all of his fuel strategy, and you guys. Yeah, it's been great fun.
Look, mate, it's we need to say it again. Well done on the championship series. Well done on the 3rd place tonight. You got yourself a 3rd place in round number 1, 2nd round number 2. You won round number 3. Round number 4, you were just outside in 6th place. You come home with a 3rd place. Fantastic series. Congratulations. And we hope we're going to see you. Look, we're putting pressure on JB for an E1000, so we're hoping maybe you'll team up with P-Man and you can bring home another win there.
Yep, I look forward to it. Thanks, guys.
No worries, mate. We'll let you go. Look at that. A winning there on the final lap. All come down. Look, a shout out to Jack Whittis. He's not in our Discord chat. We would have loved to have grabbed him in here because that was a dramatic race. It was absolutely fantastic. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to bring in our fearless leader because I want him to be involved in this one. JB, mate, you didn't get the win tonight, but fearless leader, another fantastic series, and everyone seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah, it was a massive night. Super stoked to finish. There was a bit of a interesting start with a few incidents off the line. So, yeah, it was good to sort of get through it clean. But, yeah, another good series we built on last year and hopefully made it bigger and better.
Look, I want to run through these with you because obviously being running the series in the background, we wanted to go through a shout out there. And unofficially, I have that Guy Leach has taken the win there by 3 points over Jack Whittis in what was an eventful final lap. So congratulations to him. But we've got some other awards to give away. And you want to run through them with us? Because I'm going to go through them right now and talk them through. We thought we'd bring you in on this one. So, top Ford qualifier. Old K-Dog, Kevin Norman comes through in the flat out karts entry.
Yeah, he actually got pretty lucky because his brother Nathan Norman was actually in the hot seat for that award, and unfortunately Nathan couldn't make it tonight. So next in line was his brother Kevin. So yeah, congrats to Kevin.
Congrats to Kevin, yep. And so K Norm, mate, look, congratulations, top Ford qualifier, flat out karts entry. We got a top Holden qualifier, Jack Whittis. No surprise there, is it? I mean, what did he qualify? 4 out of 5 races, number 1.
Yeah, he's had a pretty dominant series, especially in the qualifying field. He's had a bit of unluck, bit of bad luck throughout the series in the races, but yeah, pretty hard to beat in the qualifying. So congrats to Jack on winning the top Holden qualifier.
And then we'll move on to our best Ford livery, and this year is Dylan Sates. I reckon Paul Mansell had a bit to do with this one in the background, but yeah, the old Sates Racing livery on the Mustang looks absolutely fantastic for best Ford livery.
Yeah, that's it. One of the things we looked at was obviously supporting local territory businesses and some of our series sponsors. So, it's great to see all local sponsors on Dylan's car. And, yeah, it looks really good on track and, all the media that we've done with it.
All right, move on to best Holden livery. And Shane Ewan's, you don't get much more territory than Paul's iced coffee, do you?
Yeah, exactly. Hard one to go past. I actually only learnt when I was going through and having a look at them all. If you zoom in on Shane's livery, there's actually a bit of artwork in the sort of brown sections of his car. So certainly creative, and Paul's gotten pretty creative, with that livery. And again, supporting the local sponsors, and that's how he took out Best Holden livery.
All right, now there's some fun ones we get. Let's get on to something a bit more serious. Most improved for the 2021 Shannons Insurance NTE series. Dan Kerr, the BizCom entry from Alice Springs. He had that fantastic P2 there, didn't he? It was at Phillip Island from memory. Unfortunately, he didn't finish the race on the podium, but mate, he's had some fantastic moments throughout this. And how good has he improved since last season?
Yeah, massively. To watch how far he's come this series, and even within this series, he did really well at Oran Park and at Spa, and again tonight. So yeah, deserving winner. Deserving winner. Now,
best and fairest. This one is probably one that's pretty important, isn't it? Just clean racing and seeing how they go, and we're looking at incident points and things like that. And best and fairest in 2021 goes to Daniel Norris from the West Oz Roof Restoration, staying out of trouble.
Yeah, so the best and fairest went to obviously someone that had some respectable results throughout the series, and obviously also, kept it pretty clean and on the track. And I think Dan's a well-deserving winner of this. Always making sure he's clearing of lead cars and still putting in some good results himself.
All right, now, the one, what does the wooden spoon get in this series again? Remind us.
I think they get double their entry fee back.
Yeah.
So, not a bad prize.
Yeah, so you can't go too, if you're going to go terrible, go really terrible. All right, wooden spoon for the 2021 Shannons Insurance NTE series. Tim Gracie from Gracie Bet. I tell you what, he's got the Queen New Zealander down there. He's racing from New Zealand tonight, he's telling us, but he's up on the Gold Coast. And you've offered kindly with Shannons Insurance to fly us to New Zealand and do the broadcast from his place next time. That's apparently what's happening.
Have I? All right. Well, our budget's obviously increased for next year, but congratulations to Tim. Wooden spoon, obviously not the greatest thing, but it's actually, they've had to complete every round and complete every race. So for Tim to stay on the track and not disconnect to any of our rounds and keep on doing laps, then he's a deserving winner of that award. Look,
and he gets his money back. Look, we need to thank everybody who's been part of the Shannons Insurance NTE series for another fantastic year. Of course, our sponsor, Shannons Insurance, don't forget, over $34,000 in cash up for grabs. Enter now at Shannons Show and Shine. It's all the W's, shannonsinsurance.com.au. And Jake, look, we put the pressure on you, E1000 series. Are we looking at it for 2021?
Yeah, I think definitely, there's been a huge demand after this series, and it's nice to have that sort of standalone event sort of later on in the year. So we might look at running something again in October and freshen everyone up and potentially run another series in the new year.
So, Teagues, you heard that. Potentially we're going to New Zealand and potentially we're having an E1000. Yin?
I didn't hear potentially at all. I heard definitely for both. So I'll take that.
Look, Teagues, it's been great working with you again. Look, thanks to all the sponsors again, Peggy's Performance and Dyno Tuning, Tim Nickel Photography, MP Style and Signage, Road Runner, Auto Inspection and Road Services NT, and of course, some bloke Medicab Media in the background helping out. But look, guys, we can't put it together without all the support. We know Paul Manson in the background, Tim Nickel, so many people involved, yourself, Jake Burgess, a big shout out. Congratulations to you guys. We'll give you a round of applause if I had it tuned in tonight. Look, thanks for getting me and Teagues back involved, and thanks for everyone who's obviously been out there and put the entertainment on. We're glad we could bring this to you guys over the internet. Can't wait to see what we do next.
Thanks, Matty. It's been a wonderful one, and looking forward to the next time we can do it.
All right, Jake, we'll let you go. And look, guys, stay tuned to the NTE Series Facebook page. We will confirm all this, but it looks like Guy Leach has taken out the 2021 Shannons Insurance NTE Series. Plenty of things to come, and you heard it from the boss himself. Potentially an E1000 coming up later in the year. Thanks again for this series. We'll speak to you soon.
I've been a motoring enthusiast all my life. My Coupe 4 is rare and very special. A real performance car with all-wheel drive grip. I'm not a car club bloke and I don't work on it myself, but I do have a great mechanic. One day, I might even get that HQ. When it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannons.
Shannons shares your passion. Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
The 2021 Shannons Insurance NTE Series is back. All thanks to our series sponsors. Shannons Insurance, Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tuning, Tim Nickel Photography, NP Style Signage and Graphics, Auto Inspections and Road Services NT, Roadrunner, and of course, Medicab Media.
Are you a motoring enthusiast? Shannons are giving you the chance to win 2 American Legends, an awesome Ram 1500 V8 quad cab. There's nothing quite like a full-size American pickup, and an Indian Scout Bobber 20 motorcycle, including up to 12 months Shannons car and bike insurance and roadside assist, plus $5,000 cash for eligible Shannons Club members. To enter, get a quote on your special car, spouse's car, daily drive, your bike, or home. Or take out a new policy for more chances of winning. Call Shannons on 13 46 46.
Thank you.